Kitty. Flap.
Shut up, I'm trying to talk to Paul.
Toucher and Heidi.
Good luck trying to put your finger in it when there's a million holes.
On 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Let's go.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Good morning. We are Toucher and Hardy.
Yes.
Yeah. Thanks, Pat. Town Fair Tire Studios, 617-779-0985. You can watch us on YouTube. Subscribe to 98.5 The Sports Hub on YouTube. And you can watch us live. Kendra is in for John today.
Hopefully it'll be some good
Yeah. John is actually doing things this next couple weeks. Not only is he going to the in-laws, he's going to see his father in New York City. So I will give him credit.
All right.
He's traversing the Northeast. Now, it all will be by automobile. He drives into Manhattan in an automobile, which is interesting to me. But Ryan is out and Nick is out, and it was interesting. Ryan, obviously, they just stack vacation weeks, but Nick is not the case. I did, and I'm not judging him at all, but I'm just saying that Nick, I'm like, how many vacation weeks do you get? And he's like, 2 or 3. And I went, oh, because you're taking 2.5, so I guess it's 3. So if you're that means you've only taken 3 vacation days this year. And it seems like you've missed a lot more than that. And he goes, oh, I take a lot of sick days. And I went, oh, okay. That makes sense. You stack them all.
To schedule my sick days around Memorial Day weekend and Labor Day.
And I'm all for taking your sick days, believe me. I've no problem doing that. I'm not. But it is interesting that he would miss a lot of work because of he has a young kid. And his wife is pregnant. His wife being pregnant didn't have anything to do with him missing. But he would have to take care of the kid. But apparently those weren't vacation days. Which I'm fine with. But finally, someone's taking more sick days than me on the show. And that's very rewarding to me. I need to point that out.
Nick had some like childcare days that he had to take, too.
Those are separate? You get childcare days?
I don't know. But if we're just explaining absences, there were a few times he had to miss work due to his wife being out of town or something.
There were days that I took ostensibly because of my children. I should have been able to take those off.
Yeah.
Such as my airport 4 a.m. excursion. That was very controversial. I could have made it even more controversial by taking a child care day for that.
Do you know about that one, Kendra?
I do not.
Okay. Fred took a day off and scheduled it because the way I frame it is he had to get up early that day, and he didn't want to go to work on a day when he had to get up early, which seems counterintuitive to a job that requires you to get up early.
Yeah, that was going to be my thing. Shouldn't you be used to it?
Well, he had to take Milo to the airport. I think he had to leave the house about 3:45 or something, get him to the airport, and he didn't want to come into work after that.
I didn't want to do a 4-hour show after I had to go do all that crap. I had to pack him up, get him up, get him to get at the time 16-year-old kid to the airport at 3:30 in the 3:45 in the morning, and I didn't want to go to the airport and then come here.
I mean, if you have a day to burn, I get it. I'm just more so the type where if I'm already out and on the road and up and ready, I'll save my vacation day for a day that I truly don't want to do anything or go anywhere.
I get 5 weeks vacation, first of all, so it's not like this, that I was like sacrificing anything that I wanted to do, and I just really didn't want to I wanted to go back to bed.
And that's the other thing that is not as controversial. It's hard for me to understand. Like, if I have to get up and do all the things that you described and be awake enough to get somebody to the airport, I'm like, well, now I'm up.
Yeah, exactly.
There's no going back to bed for me once I'm up for a couple hours.
It's almost harder to go home and go back to bed than it is to just come in and chat.
I would say it's impossible for me to do that.
You guys know I wear the Whoop.
Yeah. By the way, I just sent you that post.
Whoop, 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 whoop.
So I wear a Whoop. It's the biggest piece of scientific discovery that's happened
I
since
think
the moon landing.
Well, I was going to say since the Segway changed the way we get around and just humans mobilize.
I mean, how many fat tourists that are pieces of garbage have fallen in the Orlando area touring on Segways? But I wear this Whoop, and not only do I take a nap every day, according to this Whoop technology, my nap is about 85 to 90% more effective than the sleep I get at night. So my point is, not only do I sleep during the day and have no problem going back to sleep, it is a true, deep, non-waking, 2-hour, hour and a half REM and deep sleep experience. Now at night, REM and deep sleep are not reached often for whatever reason. I'm up several times in the evening, many waking events. When it comes to the nap, dead. So when I went back, and then what happens is that like if I get up, when I get up, then the kids are in school, and more so then because now Zoe doesn't have to get picked up until after sports, but she wasn't playing sports. That gives me, so I go back to bed, I get up at like 11. That gives me like 11 until at the time like 3:30 to do whatever I want. So I could go do things and not look at my watch the whole time. So that was another thing about it. But I did drive yesterday, Hardy, as you know. My son plays baseball for a school at the Lawrence Academy. It's in Groton, and he travels around playing baseball. So in the spring, but this year he's not. He was told not by the school, but by colleges and stuff, don't play any other sports except for baseball. Use the winter to train and put on weight. Start a throwing program. He'd never done any of this stuff before, so he's doing it this year with the goal of his junior year. Adding a lot of velocity. He wants to throw like 90, all these things. So he is taken care of until the spring, and then there's a lot of driving, which I because there's schools all over the state. There trips to the south for tournaments, all these things that showcases at colleges. There's all these travels. But I thought I was in the clear until the spring. Well, my daughter's the JV coach at her school, Newton South, is I told him yesterday. I can't thank him enough. He took an interest in my daughter, and he really encouraged her to go out for the basketball team. She's not, super into sports. She likes them, but she's not like super into them. He encouraged her to get out of her comfort zone. It's all like been tremendous for her. She goes out for the team. There's not a lot of cuts. She makes the team. And I go, oh, this is Newton South. A public school, this traveling, this would be great. I'll go to like Waltham or like these Newton North or something. Like I'll go. No, I won't have to go anywhere.
Might have to go to Brookline, but there's not a lot.
Yeah, like I understand her league. There, like maybe you have to go to like Duxbury or something. I guess
Duxbury. No, I'm thinking like Needham is the farthest.
Yeah, but maybe like one time you have to go to. I don't know. So yesterday at 5:00 game in Peabody. Where DB's Golden Banana, I've been told, was. I've only been there one time. If I would have known, I would have left much earlier. But hour and 45 minutes to get to Peabody yesterday. And I understand that people do that every day. I can't tell you how much respect I have for you. To sit there, I did not go above 20 miles an hour that entire ride on 95. Not one time on that entire ride did I go over 95 miles an hour. I just sat. And
you remember Kristen, who used to work here at the radio station?
Yes, I do actually.
So she's lives in Peabody or from Peabody. She texted me yesterday. She's like, "What was Fred saying about Peabody?" I said, "Oh, he has to go there today for his daughter's game at 5 p.m." She said, "Oh boy, 128 will be fun, especially around 5 p.m. Week away from Christmas, North Shore Mall. Good luck."
Yeah, the North Shore Mall was a situation. There's no question about it. There was a lot of traffic. And what's great about 95 is all the freeways that merge into it at random times. So you get cooking about 20 miles an hour and then, 93. And then you go, okay, well, this is stopped. And then, you hit something else. Like, around Burlington. That's a disaster with the Burlington Mall.
Like always. It's one of those places. There's a handful of places. I think Saturday has become the worst, dawn till midnight worst traffic day of the week, because everyone's going somewhere if the weather's at all nice on a Saturday. But especially around like that spot, that Burlington Mall exit around there, it's never not busy.
Yeah.
There's always
you got
cars
the Burlington
around
Mall, you got the Middlesex Turnpike. That's right near where I
Yeah.
live, and it sucks.
Oh,
And
all the time.
that's where NBC Sports Boston
Right.
used to be, which was
Yeah.
a total headache because that's not even that far from me, and it just takes forever.
Yeah, just getting there is a nightmare all the time.
Yeah, and so you're putting along, and if you do that every day, I've
Putting?
Yeah, everything's a golf analogy to me. But I was hitting them straight yesterday. There's no question about it. Now coming back was no issue, but getting there was
How was the
no
game?
fun. It was nice. It was good. I mean, they played a school that was very good, but she got to play.
You've already had to go to more games than I ever had to go to with either one of my kids, but aside from the drive or one season when my daughter played soccer, when it just the weather did not cooperate for like any of her games, I never minded going to the game and actually standing there and watching the game because, this speaks to me just because I like games, I like activities, I like anything where they're keeping score. But that at the root of it, it's like I'm still watching a game. There's something at stake here. And just watching any sport being played, out walking the dog on a weekend, if there's dudes out there playing softball, I'll stop and watch for a couple of minutes. So I don't mind. I never minded going to any youth sporting event because it's a game. You get to watch.
It's the best when your kid's only a pitcher and you get to go to a bunch of games and tournaments where he is not pitching.
Okay, maybe that wouldn't have been my favorite.
And it's a travel team where you really don't care if they win or lose at all. Like a high school game, at least like you care if they win. Like a travel game, it's not overly important to me. You like to see the kids do well, but because they're trying to showcase themselves.
Yeah.
But it's not really. Not a lot of pride on the line, so if and then you could end up at 2 or 3 games in a day, where I know my son's not going to pitch because he's going to start the next day, but I have to drive him to the game because we're in Hoover, Alabama, and no one else will drive him, and I kind of got to go. Look, man, I had to go to that game yesterday. There's no one else went. It doesn't matter if everyone else went. My daughter and my son. Probably I've damaged them, but they are constantly looking at me and looking for my son is, as he gets older, not as much, but he did when he was until recently too, is that they will look at me and they will and ask sort of non-verbally, how are they doing, what should they be doing. And my reaction is always to just put my palms in the air, which is pay attention to your coach, or a thumbs up. These are the two things that I do. If I wouldn't have gone there yesterday, it would have been very bad. And she would have been there till 10:30 at night because she would have had to stay for the varsity game. Oof. So me and another guy I know were the two parents there, and we ended up driving like half the team home. Because I texted a friend of mine. I'm like, oh, yeah, hey, I didn't know your daughter's on the team. He's like, you drive her home. Like, but he lived right by my house, so I don't care. Yeah. But listen, now that I know that DB's Golden Banana is so within reach, look out, Christmas. Are they open on Christmas?
I think that's one of the 2 days of the year they're not, actually. But I can look into that for you.
What's the other one?
Okay.
Washington's birthday?
Megan in West Bridgewater had emailed yesterday afternoon and said, hi, guys, correct me if I'm wrong, but Fred claims he is unfamiliar with Peabody, but he didn't patronize DB's Golden Banana.
This is how I know DB's Golden Banana is there.
Right on Scenic Route 1 in Peabody?
Yep. I've been to DB's Golden Banana, but it was after my friend and I went to Calhoun, and I didn't really know where I was. He was driving, and he insisted on going to DB's Golden Banana. And it was the first time I'd ever been to a strip club sober, and I did not enjoy the experience. Not that DB's Golden Banana is not delightful, but I was sober, and I had never been sober at a strip club before, so it was a little.
It's a different vibe, isn't it?
Yeah. In the ladies not so interested in us, so I was so it was just kind of sitting there. It wasn't crowded at the time. They let me in for free.
Oh.
They recognized me and let me in for free.
Nice.
But I hadn't been to strip clubs since BCN, and when I went to a strip club BCN like Centerfolds, I felt like I was Charlie Sheen. Like they put me in a back door and took me up in an elevator. Now I would have to pay often,
so to speak.
But so to speak. And I was treated very but DB's Golden Banana let me in, but they left us alone, which was nice. But there was no girls were interested in us, and my friend wasn't drinking either. So we were just kind of sitting there, and I'm like, well, there's certainly naked ladies, but I don't really know what I'm supposed to be doing.
This is the pre-Whoop days, right? Because otherwise, I would love to have seen your chart on that day. See that that heart race up. See all your vitals just spiking and dipping and diving and
I think if a girl got within 30 yards of us, that might have gotten a little bit higher. But
yeah.
I mean, I was almost like the internet. I was just watching a screen.
Did I ever tell you about when I was supposed to do an appearance with Artie Lang at the Spearmint Rhino in Las Vegas?
No, you haven't told me that story.
So Howard used to do his show for a week in Vegas. He did it, I don't know, a few times, and it was a big deal. We were the host station, and we carried his show at my station in Vegas, and it was the same day that Artie had participated. They would come up with sports challenges for Artie occasionally, and this one was Artie had said, I can get a hit off of any female pitcher that you put out there if she's going to pitch overhand baseball, not softball, but he's like, I'm a good enough athlete to where I can get a base hit off of anyone. I said, okay. So they set up a makeshift diamond in the parking lot of the Hard Rock and brought in a pitcher, and they, put a little, artificial mound up there for her. And the prize was $10,000 to either one. She could strike him out or just get him out, or he could get a hit. So Artie gets the hit, takes the $10,000, immediately walks inside. He says, I'm putting it all on roulette. I'm putting it all on black or red, whatever. Of course he lost. I believe it came up green 00. In the most Artie Lang outcome ever. It didn't matter what he chose, red or black, he was going to lose. So he got absolutely annihilated. They did the show after that, and he started drinking. And, I mean, he was in bad shape.
I remember seeing clips from it because some of it made it to the Howard TV stuff, and, he was gonzo.
So, like an hour or two after they finished recording the show that day, I'm supposed to do a dual appearance with him at the Spearmint Rhino. And I show up, and there's tons of Stern fans there because in Vegas it's a lot of transplants and a lot of Stern fans from New York and everything else, and they're all there to see Artie Lang. He shows up, and you talk about being let in the back door, Fred. He couldn't walk. I don't know how they got him into the limo to get him over to the strip club, but he couldn't move, and they just took him in the back room. And they said, all right, Artie, you need to go out on stage and tell people what's going on. I said, they're going to kill me. They want to see A, girls, and B, Artie Lang. Nobody cares about seeing me. And the manager said, don't worry, I'll take care of you. I'll take care of you. So to go out on the stage, he surrounded me. He brought out 8 of his best girls, and it was like a Secret Service semicircle in front of me where, they're all, wearing their heels. They're taller than me. They're all naked. I just went out there. It's like, hey, everybody, thanks for coming out. Spearmint Rhino. I'm Hardy from X175 Extreme Radio. Artie Lang's in the back. He's having a good time just like you are here tonight. So enjoy yourselves. We've got $2 Bud Lights for the rest of the night, and enjoy yourselves here at the Spearmint Rhino. And I got off the stage, and they said, thanks, dude. I'm like, I'm out. I got to go. I'm leaving. And they said, good. Thank you.
Yeah, it's amazing what they would make us do. Like, hey, Metallica's not playing this show at the Georgia Dome. Go out and tell everyone. I ran out of that Georgia Dome faster than you could ever believe. I'm like, I'm not being here with Altamont. No, thank you. All right, I can't. I'm sorry, the phone screener is broken, but I understand. Are you a former manager of DB's Golden Banana? Hello?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't know it get through. Yes, I was. But I was 24 years old, Fred. And I met the owner. He had a fruit company down in Chelsea Market. He hired me. I was 24 years old. And it's just something I'll never forget. It was just I don't want to say insanity, but it was, I would be in the back room with all the girls just shooting the breeze, and they're all walking around naked. I mean, it was just, I'm looking,
where they get ready? Where they get ready?
Yeah, when they were,
okay.
Where they get ready.
I've been back there, not at DB's Golden Banana, but in Atlanta. That's not the place you want to be.
Yeah, I'm looking around, and I'm no Adonis, and I'm saying, what have I done? I mean, how can anybody respect me? I mean, I'm just sitting in the back room with 7 naked girls, and
did you see where they apply makeup? Because
I'm going to try to tell you this story and be as clean as can be.
Because I can tell you stories, but go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, when their friends when they had their period.
All right, we can't do that. All right, so here's the deal: is that I have been back in those rooms. In Atlanta, again, I've explained that strip clubs are different in Atlanta. They were like co-ed kind of. They just people, they were open all night, and people would go after hours, and bands would go, and girls would go with bands, and da-da-da-da. So a lot of times groups of guys and girls, we would go together. And you get to know everyone, and I was in the music thing. And you get back there, and you go, this is awesome. Like, look at all these hot strippers. And these are Atlanta strippers. They're, like, super hot. Yeah. And you're like, wow, look at all these hot strippers. But you're back where they're getting ready, and they're applying makeup to the inside of their butt cheeks and like, like
positioning themselves like an OBGYN
exactly
to get everything. Yeah.
And you're like, why are you? So like, what's going on back there where you got to put makeup on and like the blemishes that haven't been covered yet, and because these women are naked, like right in front of like 200 guys, like it takes guts. But they're back there applying this stuff, and like they're getting a medical procedure done, and you're like, okay, well, this has lost a lot of its luster.
I just want to say I'm very impressed with the caller. He must have entered the management training program straight out of high school to attain that position by the age of 24, because they just don't hand that job out.
But there was something about like Chelsea Market in there. I don't know how that felt into everything, but look.
Whatever, Quincy Market or Chelsea, whatever it was.
They're showing Dondero from the Felger Mash show yesterday. He was dressed like a little sports reporter. Look at him.
Look at him.
He was all dolled up like a little sports reporter.
With his little Gap Kids sport coat.
I don't know. But they make them in boys small. All right, very good. We'll be back in just a moment. Here are the headlines. Or not headlines. Here's the...
You're listening to Toucher and Hook.
last night.
Hey, we're Toucher and Artie. What happened last night is brought to you by Leonard Hair Transplant Associates, where your hair doesn't have to be a game of what happened. So change your lettuce and change your life with Dr. Matthew Lopresti at 1-800-GET-HAIR. Frank, go ahead.
Good morning, Fred. I love you guys, and I've been listening, and I listen every day. And what is it about sick days, whether you take them or somebody else takes them, that there's a huge discussion? Everybody, especially you, seem to be tabulating your sick days, other people's sick days. Can we get to the bottom of that? What is that about? I love you guys.
Okay. Look, to be fair, I think I am probably the one who is the most critical or really keeping an eye on this thing more so than Fred. Now, Fred has an acute awareness of how many days off he has available to him. But if there's anyone giving a sideways glance to somebody for missing work, I would like that put on me, please.
Here's what happened is that Scott, this is basically what happened, is Scott was missing a lot of days of work, and we started making fun of him. This was years ago, and we started making fun of him, and a listener made this like Price is Right yodeling guy that they use on the show to like track his days off. And so obviously that annoyed him. I can't blame him. And then what happened is I started missing a ton of days through rehab or the loony bin where what do you call it? The puzzle factory, Artie?
Yeah,
I was in the puzzle factory.
Yeah.
And then with my whole throat situation, I ended up missing like a great deal of work. So I don't remember if Scott was like that before, but then after that, Scott started getting like exceptionally interested in like every day I missed.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was even before that because with the cat and stuff, like he was into that. So and I think the cat is what I reacted to for Scott missing days. I think Scott might have started it, but whatever. We took it to another level, and then Scott. So the remnants of Scott's, and I never bust Scott's balls about missing work. I haven't in like at least 3 years. I haven't busted Scott's balls, certainly on air, about missing work. I've listened to people bust his balls, but I haven't. I don't look. To be honest with you, during the football season, I think Scott's overworked. I do, sincerely. Like, if he has to do a game on Sunday and then fly back, like, at night and then come in and then do his show, I don't know. I mean, I truly believe this. I think he's going to get sick. So, I'm not surprised that he gets sick. I don't doubt, and I don't doubt this year that he was sick. I've told that to him off air. I truly believe that. But I think it became kind of like a peeing contest, and it's kind of still going on. I don't, to be honest with you, I haven't busted anyone's balls about missing work. I just thought it was funny that Nick had 2.5 weeks vacation, and then in the thing we're like, wow, we didn't ask Ryan and we didn't ask John, we just asked Nick. Like, Nick, wow, you got 2.5 weeks off. How many weeks of vacation do you get? He's like 2 or 3, so it's got to be 3. So that means he's only taken 3 vacation days this year. But Nick is certainly not only taking 3 days off. And so we're like, and then so I just was like, this wasn't a combative argument. It was just like a curiosity. I think it's a valid, curious question.
Yeah.
He didn't even have to be in the meeting yesterday because he just left.
It was really more like a mathematical curiosity. Like,
yeah.
How is it that you have this many days left?
Yeah, like I wasn't breaking his balls. I was just like, yeah, how do you have this many days left? And he goes, oh, I took a lot of sick days. And I went, oh, okay. And then I just thought it was funny because he wasn't sick during all those days and didn't claim to be sick. But maybe they're, with the way things are now, and probably rightly so, if you have an issue with childcare, you get to take the day off.
Yeah.
Which I don't have a problem with. Believe me, I don't care if Nick's here. It doesn't bother me. No, I haven't, since I missed all that time, I'm not in any position to bust people's balls for, it would just be being trying to justify my own thing, right? Like if I realize I'm self-aware enough now to know if I bust someone's balls about taking time off, it would be just to make myself look better for past missing time off. I'm quite aware of my history with missing work.
Right, and it's a transference thing. Whether it's Zoe or you, it's like, oh well, this makes me examine myself in a way that I'm not altogether comfortable with. I'm going to start looking elsewhere.
Well, Zoe's is absolutely transference. I mean, there's no question about it. I mean, like it's like if Hardy busts my balls because like I had the tooth infection and it's like I get it, but like when Scott like anything. Like when I took the day off, the vacation day after I was in Cincinnati, he's like, dude. I'm like, all right, Scott.
Right.
It's vacation day.
Yeah.
Leave me alone. Go ahead.
Right. Well, I tell you who's going to be getting a vacation is quarterback down in Miami. As Mike McDaniel announced yesterday, they are making a change.
I think Quinn gives this team the best chance to win. Our focus is obviously to win the next 3 games, but in particular, like I tell the players, we are focused on beating the Bengals, so that was the motivation. Zach will be backing him up, and Tua will be the emergency third.
That's a pet peeve of mine, Bengals. No, it's the Bengals, and yes, Quinn Ewers will get the start against the Bengals in place of Tua Tagovailoa, who Mike McDaniel says some stuff went wrong this year.
Playing quarterback and being a starting quarterback and then being a franchise quarterback, these are all things that are very complex. I think this is a player that his MO had been growth and, just exceptional learner, and he's always evolving. There's compounding variables.
All right, he's not really saying what went wrong. He didn't play well enough.
He had to, Kendra, I'll bring you into this. So he had to have gotten ownership's permission on this because Tua's owed a phenomenal amount of money next year. Don't you agree?
Yeah, I don't even know if he has any trade value. I think it's probably going to be a situation like Kirk Cousins where he's just going to be sitting on the bench and getting a ton of money because one, he has an injury history, 2, it's an insane contract. How do you offload that?
Okay, yeah, and let's get further into it is that he can't run. He doesn't have any arm strength. He has to be in a particular type of offense. If you think about it off the top of your head, it would have to probably be San Francisco or the Rams have
There's no way.
unmobile quarterback. I'm just saying. I don't think he will. No. What I'm saying is, even in a scenario where someone would want him, in theory, off the top of my head, maybe 2 teams he would fit their offense. So that eliminates 29 teams from the scenario. And also, he's owed a phenomenal amount of money. So why would you give up any capital or even want that on your books? You're better off just taking a shot at a kid, or taking some backup off another team. It just seems like they're stuck with Tua. Tua really put himself in a bit of a hole. He acts like he's, Joe Burrow, and he's not. He pretty lippy for a kid that's hanging on by a thread.
I think we're going to learn a lot about the situation this week, and it's kind of crazy to say that we're going to learn a lot about Tua when he's not even playing, but we haven't seen Mike McDaniel's offense not catered to him, which if you watch a lot of football and you've seen what he's done in other places, I don't think Mike McDaniel's ideal offense fits Tua, so it's going to be interesting to see how he runs it this weekend and how tailored it truly was to Tua, which is probably either going to open some doors or close some doors for him, but I just don't see any way that he's not on this team next year.
Because Quinn Ewers for a while was supposed to be the number 1 pick in the draft.
Yeah,
Remember?
He had a bad season last year.
Yeah, before the season, in mock drafts, he was supposed to be the number 1 quarterback taken, and then he fell. So, the kid's obviously got some talent. It will be interesting to see how he does.
Backing up Zach Wilson, there's no coming back from that. If you're behind a rookie and Zach Wilson, I'm sorry, it's done.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he was flat out asked if he was done with the Dolphins.
Do you think you played your last time with the Dolphins?
I'm not too sure. I can't predict the future. I can't, predict any of that. So it is what it is. And as I said, got to help out Q, got to help out Zach, whoever the starter is or is going to be. Do what I can to help them in that role and helping the team win games.
It's unfortunate for Tua because, after, his last bad concussion, there were plenty of people who said maybe he just shouldn't play football anymore. This doesn't look to be this, forget safe. Just even the logical common sense thing to do. Maybe he needs to be done. And now he's at the point where even in a controlled environment, as controlled as you can get, and the way they're trying to run the offense for him, if he can't perform under those circumstances either, then it's finally coming to fruition.
Yeah, I was listening to Dan Graziano on SportsCenter this morning talk about how we saw Andrew Luck retire early from injury and not wanting to rehab anymore. And he said that he doesn't think Joe Burrow is going to retire because of the same reason, but the way that he's talking, it's something that they shouldn't ignore. I was kind of surprised that conversation wasn't had around Tua. I think that Tua is probably less likely to give up on football than Joe Burrow because Joe Burrow has, other things going on in his life and activities and hobbies and stuff that he does, and Tua's whole life kind of revolves around football, obviously, because when you have those types of injuries and you don't consider taking significant time off for your family or wearing a guardian cap or anything to protect yourself, I'm just kind of surprised that was never even a consideration for him, because honestly it should be.
What hobbies does Joe Burrow have? I like hobbies.
He plays the piano, he's involved in the community,
he loves fashion,
chess, he walked in Paris Fashion Week last year. He's got stuff going on.
Yeah, I'll tell you, Joe Burrow can scream. Yeah, he's going to have to retire because if they think Brown's going to let that kid go, you're not going. What are you going to do? There's a lot being made about Joe Burrow wanting to leave Cincinnati as if that's a possibility. First of all, he grew up in Ohio. Second of all, he's making an assload of money. And I know Palmer, pushed his way out of Cincinnati, but he wasn't Joe Burrow. There's under no circumstances are they trading that kid. Who are you going to trade? What are you going to trade Burrow for? So you're gonna trade him for 5 first-round picks, so you can pick up a 10 times worse quarterback and some pieces that 3 may hit. They're not trading Burrow for anything. I'd say retire. If you don't want to play, don't play. But you're not playing for anyone else.
Joe Burrow was asked about his hobbies.
I do cook.
Yeah.
Yeah. But in fairness, they said, do you have any hobbies? And he went, yeah. And they go, what are they? And then he stammered. And then they said, cooking? And he went, yeah, I cook.
Are you a foodie? Yes, as a matter of fact.
Yeah. He just said yes to get himself out of the hole of having to think in his brain what he likes.
I eat out. I eat different kinds of foods. I enjoy cooking, preparing foods.
And then when pressed, he doesn't eat out. That's the thing, is that he couldn't even think of anything he enjoys.
You guys think Joe Burrow's into shrimp scampi?
John cooks shrimp scampi.
Well, listen, John could make a trip to Cincinnati. He's got a couple weeks off. He could get in there to Cincinnati. Yeah. No question about it. All right, we'll be back in just a moment. Here are the headlines.
Warm chocolate chip.
Essential Sports Hub headline.
Such an fantastic explosion.
98.5.
All right, we are Toucher and Artie. Curtis, go ahead.
Yeah. Good morning, boys. It's Curtis from Tiki Rock. I was just thinking about the Tua thing. I know that no team is going to want him based off of the contract and how much money he's owed, but what about using it against future draft picks? Like, if you could pick up a bunch of those, wouldn't that just equal out?
So it would be Tua with a bunch of draft picks, and then and you would receive like a 7th round pick or something like that. Like,
yeah.
Is that allowable?
I don't understand the question.
So the question is, what if you attached? It was like a trade in the NBA where you're packaging an overpaid player with a bunch of picks in order to get rid of him. They do it in hockey too. Like you could trade.
You could trade him with other people, but I think the more likely scenario here is that they cut him, because if they cut him, they can spread the money they owe him out over 2 seasons.
Yeah, he's quite a cap hit, and I'm not positive how that works in the NFL. If that you could make a trade for a salary, attach picks to it, and get in return.
Oh no, I thought you were saying could they trade him and a bunch of like their younger players to make the deal better. I didn't understand it was a salary thing. Like I said, the more likely situation here, instead of them trading him with like a bunch of younger players, would be for them to cut him and spread the money they owe him out over 2 seasons, because that's a rule in the NFL.
Right. They must really not want him though, because people are concerned about Fields being owed $10 million. That's a whole situation. Now, do you think that Kyler Murray could be traded?
Oh, 100%. I think Kyler Murray is 1,000% done in Arizona.
No, I do too, but you think that someone will trade for him?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because there's only 1 year left of him making any money.
Yeah, I think Kyler's going to go somewhere else.
I think the Jets are going to trade for Kyler Murray, to be honest with you.
I do too. I was thinking the Jets. There's going to be a lot of weird movement this season with quarterbacks, I think.
Because John didn't believe me, and then off air we went through the exercise, and it is true that Kyler Murray's got basically 1 year left of like guaranteed money, and that.
So he'd have to ball out next year, pretty much, to get a new contract.
So what I think the Jets would do, and the reason I think, and the only reason I'm mentioning this is because it relates to the question about Tua, is that I think the Jets would trade. I don't think his value is going to be very high, and that they'll skip a quarterback in this draft, and then they'll shoot for 27. Yeah. Which is what I would suggest.
Yeah.
Yeah, the quarterback class this year, unless you're gunning for Mendoza.
Well, Bird has had questions that he's brought up off air that he doesn't want to talk about Mendoza on air. I guess
I know.
We'll get to
I've
that
seen
later.
some of his tweets.
And then that's starting to be substantiated by people I don't know that I've been reading, is that there's some questions about Mendoza.
I have thoughts on this that I will save for if we're going to talk about it later.
Well, we're not.
Oh, okay.
What do you think about Mendoza?
I love Mendoza, and I have heard that Bert has said that he doesn't think that he'll fit well into an NFL locker room. And I think that if your NFL locker room doesn't fit Fernando Mendoza, then you need a new locker room. And people said that about Caleb Williams.
I don't think you know particularly what. It's not something for on the air. I'll tell you off the air.
Okay.
There's some questions about Mendoza that it's not like he's like super into God. That's not it. Or that he's like too rousing a fella. There's thoughts about him fitting into society.
People said that about Caleb Williams too. So
no, Caleb Williams, first of all, was a freak, and freak talent, and also it was about him being soft. This isn't what the questions. Look, man, I don't know anything about Mendoza. He played exceptionally well this year. He's certainly tall enough. If he's a golf comp, I'd take a golf comp any day. That's great. He's the best quarterback. He's the only kid I'd take. Maybe if the kid in Oregon doesn't come out, maybe I take the kid from Oregon. But I would have to look more into it.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
Gun to your head, would you pick the Lions or the Jets?
What, as a team?
Yeah.
Lions. They're set up with talent for a very long time. The Jets have nobody. The Jets have Garrett Wilson.
Oh, so you're a fair weather Lions fan.
I'm not a Lions fan.
If the Jets and the Lions had equal talent.
Wait, what?
What's the question?
If the Jets and the Lions had equal talent for the long term, which would you choose? I don't want like the
to root for.
Yeah, I don't want
I'd root for the Jets.
See, that's confusing though, because he's saying he roots for the Lions because they're better right now. But if
he
that's
likes
not, I didn't
the
understand
Lions.
the question.
Yeah, no,
I thought you said who would be better. What franchise would you rather be?
No, I was asking who would you rather cheer for?
Oh no, it's always the Jets.
Yeah.
Why would I choose the Jets for anything? I choose the Jets because it's not a choice. It's been made. The choice was made when I was little. There's no going back from it. I like that when the Lions do well because I like going to Detroit and going to the games. I mean, if the Jets. But when the Jets play the Lions, I mean, I want the Jets to win, regardless of circumstance. I can't help it. I've tried not to like the Jets. I thought you meant long-term future.
No.
No, the Lions, obviously, they have a ton of high-end talent. But I don't. I've never claimed to be like a massive Lions fan. I like their hats because no one wears Lions hats.
And you like going to games there because you get to see people that you know, and it's easy and it's a good.
I like going to the city. It's a fun stadium to be in. It's weird to see them good. I would like to see the city if they ever made a Super Bowl. Like it's almost unfathomable that they'd win a Super Bowl. That would be very interesting to me. But no, if it was the Jets or Lions, I'm not. Look, when Artie and I went to the playoff game, the Lions lost. I didn't sit there sulking like it broke my heart. Well, neither did Artie, but I deferred to Artie to be the one with the emotions about it. I wanted them to win, but I didn't. It's not like something I'm. Let's put it this way: Jets and Lions are on at the same time. I'm watching the Jets. I mean, just I am. Right. Like it's just even now, I'd watch the Jets over the Lions. But if the Lions are playing when the Jets aren't playing, then I'm watching the Lions. All right, very good. We will be back in just a moment. Kendra is here, and she's going to do her betting segment a week early. We'll go around the NFL. And then Danny Roach is going to join us, the great Danny Roach. His decision. Reached out and asked if he could come on. So we will have him on in just a moment.
Hub headlines. Presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
The Bruins and the Celtics both off last night, but the Bruins are back on the ice tonight for a second game of a 5-game home stretch. They'll be hosting Connor McDavid and crew at TD Garden. You can tune in to pregame with RJ and Bob at 6:30 for puck drop at 7. And the Fenway Sports Group yesterday sold the Pittsburgh Penguins to a Chicago-based family for $1.7 billion. And only one more day until playoff college football begins. We will kick the weekend off with a Friday night matchup between number 9 Alabama visiting number 8 Oklahoma. The rest of the games are set to continue on Saturday afternoon. And tonight, a showdown for the top spot in the NFC takes place between the Rams and the Seahawks. Devontae Adams is doubtful for tonight on the Rams side, and the Seahawks have ruled out Charles Cross at left tackle. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by the Sylvan Street Grill in Peabody and Salisbury. Sylvan Street Grill gift cards make the perfect holiday gift. Stop by Peabody or Salisbury to purchase or buy online at sylvanstreetgrill.com. Eat, drink, and chill at the Sylvan Street Grill. You're listening to 98.5 The Sports Hub, Boston's home for sports. I'm Kendra Middleton, and your next update is around 7:30.
Mays under center, offset off.
Drake May.
Throws down Drake rolls forward, wrecking traffic. Off balance, throw to the end zone. Caught by John. Pass is going to be.
Drake May plays on one station in Boston.
Here's another Drake May moment. Drake May.
98.5 The Sports Hub. Fred describes himself in 7 words.
A guy in tights and a cape.
And Hardy with blunt honesty.
I am not known as Mr. Fun.
Toucher and Hardy continues on the Sports Hub.
Around the NFL with Toucher and Hardy.
Hit somebody. All right, someone just hit and run my kid. He's fine, but if I have to take a phone call, I will have to leave the studio. I'm letting you know.
All right.
I'm coaching him through his first call to the police. Well done hitting a car and taking off. I'm sure there's no cameras or any way to figure out who hit him.
Oh yeah, that's the perfect crime in 2025.
Yeah, that's and isn't it funny? We were talking yesterday. I'm like, I'm all for these cameras. I don't care. Tape them all. We were talking about that murder. You know that Walsh murder. You've at least heard of it. The Matt Walsh murder.
You don't know about this.
You guys, I don't know anything. I don't know how. I've been here for 3 years now, and I don't know anything. Like, you guys have to realize I don't know anything.
That's kind of incredible.
No, but it was like they were breaking into like TV. Like they were like it was on like during games. Like
do you ever watch or read the news?
Yeah, but like politics.
Yeah, but okay, but this was a national news story. It's local. Did you know about the
Brian Walsh, by the way? Not
Brian. Matt Walsh is a brilliant political commentator. He made a very funny movie that was like Borat. You knew Karen Reed trial, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't know anything about the Karen Reed trial, but I knew it existed. So I don't know much about the Matt Walsh trial.
No, Matt.
Sorry,
Matt Walsh, also the director of golf at Warwick.
Oh, that's what I was thinking of. But
Yeah.
he'd never kill a soul. He wouldn't hurt a fly. But the
he's got
what's his
match.
name? Brian Walsh. Whatever. So you can understand. I don't know much about it.
Hardy is so stunned.
So I don't know much about it. I obviously don't even know the guy's name off the top of my head. But I am aware that it was going on. So the point was yesterday that we were making is that what he was convicted of is killing his wife. His claim was he found her dead, and then he hacked apart her body, put it in bags, and dispersed it around town.
He pled guilty to the illegal disposal of a body, but not to killing her.
Right.
Wow.
So I was unaware of all this until he was found guilty. So what I did realize is that he had gone to Home Depot like a fool. And he had gone and bought like all these things like hacksaws and bags and garbage bags, and they had him on film.
I did see that. I saw that, but I didn't know that they were correlated.
All right. Well, this is what was going on, and so I said, you're being filmed everywhere, but I don't even know if I have a problem with that, because first of all, this is a crime of passion. There's no disposing of this body. I mean, you're going to get caught. This would have to be thought out months in advance. You'd have to be going to different Home Depots at different times over the course of a very long time, buying other stuff. You'd rack up quite a bill because you would have to buy like paint and things of that nature.
When he was buying the stuff at Home Depot, had gloves and a mask on, right? In the video? Like, he had rubber gloves on, not touching the stuff. I'm pretty sure it's the same guy.
Okay, maybe he had gloves on, but
yeah.
then he's even dumber than I assumed. You know, he has sold a fake Warhol that he had stolen.
Yeah. And by the way, Fred, I'm way ahead of you on this. When it comes to the monitoring and the cameras, this was a big thing, especially a couple of years ago when people were convinced their phones are listening to them and your Alexa is listening to them. Like, great. Makes my life easier. If I happen to be talking about wanting to buy a humidifier and all of a sudden my phone is showing me ads for a humidifier, oh, thank you. Thank you for listening and paying attention to my wants.
Not a big fan of conversation being taped without, because we all say things in conversation that out of context or just in polite company wouldn't be considered so great.
I don't think you want other people doing that to you, but if it's a machine, then so be it.
I'm more about just like their security cameras. I'm fine. I'm not stealing anything.
All right.
If anything, it would prove my innocence.
You should, man. It's a rush. Just even when you got the money, just take something.
Yeah, man. I'm like a Robin Hood type, man. I just give it away.
Well, that's fine. That's part of you get a double rush then.
Yeah.
All right, Kendra. There's a game tonight that you have an opinion on, but we may not be able to capitalize on that anymore.
No, it's the number's 1.5 plus 1.5 for the Rams. Now there's still a plus 1.5 for the Seahawks. Actually, just kidding. I don't see it anymore. No, you are correct.
I got Seahawks minus 1.5 right now.
Yeah, it says that there's a 1.5 available, but there's no book next to it on the action app. So I'm going to go with it is gone. I do have the Seahawks plus the 1.5 from earlier this week. I still like them minus the 1.5. I would say anything up to a field goal for me is fine. It's so tough in the NFL for in-division teams to sweep when both teams are this good. And it's in Seattle this time. Devontae Adams obviously out. I just like the Seahawks and their home field advantage tonight, and they're supposed to be weather, so big run game for both sides here. I just think the Seahawks they have to have. I know that they beat the Colts last week, but they barely beat the Colts. I expect them to come out and prove that they are the NFC powerhouse that we've seen them be the last couple of weeks, because how do you almost lose to Phillip Rivers and not come out ready to go?
I'm a little surprised that you're still on the Seahawks minus the 1.5.
I will say I might have gotten a little too close to the sun with some of my picks this week. They're a little crazy, but I do like the Seahawks tonight just because of the sweep angle.
Okay. Yeah, the Rams looked good against
the
Lions.
The Rams look awesome, but they're gettable. We saw them lose to the Carolina Panthers. They are a gettable team. They're the best team in the NFL right now, still in my opinion. It's so hard for in-division teams to sweep in situations like this.
Do you think that the people are making too much of them beating the Lions in that, like, I mean, the Lions kind of scored at will against them.
The line was like 5.5, so I don't know why people are so.
Yeah, they're like this is like this amazing thing.
And the Lions were hurt, so hard.
Well, the Lions defense is perennially just devastated, but yeah, their whole secondary's hurt. But the thing is that like people are acting like they just crushed the Lions. Like the Lions were in a position to win that game. They were pretty much scoring at will for large portions of it.
Yeah.
Amon St. Brown had like 45 catches for 300 yards. Like it wasn't like a dominant performance by them.
The only thing that I will say concerns me with this pick is that Sam Darnold has struggled against two teams. It's been the Rams in his career and it's been the Lions in his career. I'm pretty sure both. The last time he played the Seahawks, he threw those 4 picks, and I'm pretty sure the last time he played the Lions, he also threw 4 picks. So he will cough it up to teams like this, but they have to play good ball tonight, and he knows it. It's got to be top-tier Sam Darnold game and not, Jets Sam Darnold.
All right.
Beat the Lions in his first career start. Now, he started that game with a pick 6. I was at that game.
Nice.
But they went on to beat that Patricia coach Lions team. That was the game where everyone at the bar was throwing cans at the screen when Patricia came on. His first game ever coaching the Lions, and they were throwing cans at the screen.
He had ingratiated himself so well to the town and the players already.
That town hated him before the kickoff of the first game he ever coached.
That's true. All right. What do you got? I can't wait to hear your justification on this one. You have the Bills and the Browns game as one circle that you like this week for what reason?
So I was right about the Bills last week. I'm going to fade the Bills. It's so hard for them to win by margin, and the Browns got absolutely destroyed last week. It's one of those things like my Commanders pick last week, which was correct, where I'm chasing the team that got blown out by so many points. Browns defense back at home. And it's just a good get-up spot for them. The Bills do not win by margin, and that's all this is for me.
So you've got the Browns with how many
Plus
points?
10.
Okay.
There's a 10.5 now.
Yeah, I have a 10.5. What I would caution you against, Kendra, is the Bills maybe waking up and deciding, this would be a lot easier if we didn't go down 21-0. Let's try and have a better start and then build upon that, and that way they could easily cover that 10.5.
I think 10 is the number that I stop at for sure. If it goes under that, I don't touch it. But I also could see this being a backdoor cover situation where the Bills get up, they decide to sit Josh Allen in the fourth quarter, something like that. Browns backdoor cover, Bills still win. That's the situation I'm expecting here.
You think
touching it?
You think the Browns can score in that game?
I do, yeah.
Okay.
Not touching.
Based on what? And I'm not saying this. I'm saying this out of curiosity, not out of saying you're wrong.
Shador has shown flashes of good and awful, and it's more so I think if they can get the run game going, maybe a defensive score type of situation, that's how I think that the Browns can put up points here. Let me see what the total is.
It's 40 some. It's like
41 and a half.
Yeah, 42, 43 and a half available as well. The under also probably not a bad hit here.
All right.
Still not touching it.
That's fair.
Jackson. Amazingly, shockingly, you have the Jackson.
I picked the Jaguars one time this season. I have brought the Jags to the table one time this season on this show. You are not going to chirp me about that.
All right. They're playing the Broncos, though, so obviously you like Denver in this game.
No, I like the Jaguars. With the 5.5,
You got 5.5?
Yeah, there's a 5.5 right now available on the Action app you can chase. Other than that, it's 3 across the board. This number is fleeting for sure.
I see -3.
Yeah, would you take it at 3?
No.
Okay.
I would not take it at the 3. The thing is that this isn't anything more than a fade of the Broncos. It's been a couple decades, I think, that we talked about on my show the other day since a team has won 12 in a row. So it's literally nothing more than a fade of the Broncos. It's not that I think that this Jacksonville team is elite. Trevor Lawrence had a great game last week, a career game. This is nothing more than a fade of the Broncos, the same way that I did with the Bills last week. Or with the Patriots last week, I'm sorry.
All right. We have the San Francisco 49ers playing Monday Night Football in Indianapolis against the Colts.
Yeah, there's a couple 3s still available. Other than that, it's 6 or 6.5. Get in on the 49ers before you can. I'm pretty sure that this is going to be the game that we see Phillip Rivers just absolutely fall apart to this defense. I don't think the 49ers have been quietly one of the best teams in football for the last 6-7 weeks, maybe two plus months. And nobody's talking about them because that division is just so kick-ass. The 49ers are a good team. They're on the comeback. It's been very clear that Brock Purdy's been the better option for them, even though that there was conversation that they were winning with Mac Jones. The 49ers are being slept on, 1,000%. I get that Phillip Rivers looked a lot better than people thought he would last week. He didn't have to throw the ball at all, but the 49ers are going to eat that offense alive this week. It's probably my favorite play this week.
All right.
If you're going to chase one thing I'm doing, let it be the 49ers.
And then we have college football this evening. Tomorrow night, excuse me.
Yeah.
I keep thinking it's
Friday.
A day later than it is.
Because I'm here.
Because you're here.
I know.
Alabama, Oklahoma tomorrow night.
Yeah, I'm all over Alabama in this game. If you heard my headlines, you heard me say that Alabama hasn't lost to the same team in a single season since 1893. Alabama has the experience here. I get that Kalen DeBoer hasn't been the head coach that's led them through all of these postseasons. John Mateer will cough up the football. This game's going to be about turnovers and who can capitalize off of turnovers. I get that Ryan Williams hasn't been himself through the second half of the season. I expect a big game from Alabama's offense here. As long as they protect the football, I think that they're going to have more opportunities because John Mateer will give you turnovers, and they can create turnovers off of him.
I like that one.
That's probably my second favorite bet of the week. I would say if you're going to do anything with me this week, let's hold hands about the 49ers and Alabama football.
Okay. Who do you like in the college football playoffs?
So I gave a huge rundown on Joe Murray's show last week. I The Ole Miss number I like at 17.5 against Tulane. It is a rematch game. I'm going to wait for Ole Miss to get through that game, and I'm going to wait for Oregon to get through JMU. The number for Oregon at 21.5 is too high for me to get on, just because, once again, think it could be a backdoor cover situation there.
Did you hear the Ole Miss coach talking about the players? And he was like, you have to motivate them in different ways now. There's a lot of these guys live at the country club by my house. Like a lot of the players. Now, I'm sure it's a Mississippi country club. I'm sure the condos there are going for an astounding amount of money. But, like, it is funny that there's, like, what are you doing? Well, I play for Ole Miss. Where do you live at the country club? Stay in an apartment. Put the money in a fund. What are you buying? You're buying a place at a Mississippi country club where you're going to live for effing 6 months. Get out of here with your country club.
My big hot takes for college football. I think Oregon is probably my favorite sleeper, just because their side of the bracket to get through is incredible. I get that the knock on them is that their 3 best receivers, 2 of them got hurt, both expected to play in the postseason, unsure if it's going to be this game or the next, and then one of their other better receivers got hurt preseason, unsure if he's going to come back this season at all. The other 2 will be back. But their side of the bracket's so much easier. Their only loss of the season has come to Ohio State, and Ohio State has had their number since they played last year. They beat the crap out of Oregon last year late in the season. I think Texas Tech is absolutely gettable. So I think it's probably going to be Indiana and Oregon in the final. I'm going to chase Oregon because I think that they are an incredible football team. I'm sorry, did I say that they lost to Ohio State? Their only losses to Indiana, not Ohio State. I'm sorry, I misspoke. The other thing, I think Ole Miss, also with the fired head coach angle, I think that they could beat Georgia. I don't think it's going to be by margin. I want to see what the number is going to be, but I'm absolutely chasing those 2 through their side of the bracket until kind of like the Fiesta Bowl, Chick-fil-A Bowl situation. I think that both of those teams could get there. Probably my sleeper picks depending on the number. Miami and Texas A&M, I have nothing in this game. It's going to be an absolute battle of the trenches. Whoever can get a line of scrimmage domination situation, that's who's going to win that game. Miami has protected Carson Beck so well this season. I probably lean Miami, but since they're on the road at College Station, that's the hiccup for me there.
All right, there you go. Kendra with many picks. You share those on your socials or no?
You can once again track me on the Action app, as always.
All right. You can track her on the Action app where the units are involved as well. So it's a whole process. Danny Roach, he asked if he could be on the show today. He asked when we were going on vacation, and he just wants to be on the show.
Maybe he has an announcement of some kind.
Maybe he's going to be on the next season of The Chair Company.
He could be.
They enjoyed Gary so much that they decided to do it. Hey, you're treading on my thing, Golden Boy. Just stick to talking about your balls and strikes and leave the art to the artists.
Oh.
Word up. See, I'm going they're making a reboot of The Wire. Listen to me. Okay, I'm a street thug. Talk to me.
Look, G-Pack has a whole new meaning. He stands for Gary.
Yeah, all right. Listen, we're running lines, all right? You're a cop. Go say to me.
Hey, what are you doing out here?
What, I'm not selling crack, Jack. All right, now you're a customer. Come up to me.
Hey, man, can I get some of that stuff?
I got anything you need. Uppers, downers, goofballs. What do you need? Hey, I'm a drug dealer. Look out. What do you need? You want to fly high or you want to go low? You want to flip out? Hey, man, I'll turn you on. You like that? You want to know what's in my pocket? Mind your P's and Q's. You don't want to find out.
Hey, what's your name, man?
My name?
Puddentane. Ask me again, I'll tell you the same. And get out of here.
My man, they call me Scram. No names in the drug game, baby.
Am's great, kid.
All right, I've called together this meeting of all the cool drug dealers in town. Now look, you know we operate on the crazy side of town. Why are you guys going on my turf? What gives? Right.
Using narcotics.
Right. There's this gay fella. He's got a gun. He's killing everyone. I'm not judging him because the kid's gay. I'm just saying. It's part of the arc of the whole thing.
Let's make cocaine legal.
Right. You might recall me from my role in the chair company where I danced. Oh. La La Land, you want to take it to the stage. You know Gary's got theater experience, and you saw me dance in the Chair Company. But that's Hollywood, man. You know, you got to be a triple threat. Once I was a rich man.
Okay.
All right, we'll be back in just a moment.
Tuncher and Hut.
individuals who seek acceptance, respite, and care.
98.5, the Sports Hub.
The bells, the bows, and the flashing lights, the mistletoes, and the silent nights.
What a treat it is for us on Toucher and Hardy. Danny Roach reaches out to Adam yesterday, and he says that he wants to come on the show. By the way, my son was hit by another car. He's fine, and he called the police, and then they go, "Oh, okay. Where the accident happened?" And he goes, "I don't remember the name of the road."
Yeah, that's going to be a
so.
problem.
There's no police report. He is going to be AAA is going to take care of it. I guess it only damaged the tire. There you go.
All right, good.
So, but I don't know how this affects insurance. That he cannot. There has no police report of that he was hit by another vehicle.
I'm
All right,
confused
hang on. You're gonna have to
because-
take Dan. Hang on one second. I got to talk to him.
All right. If it's just going to be a tire, then you probably just don't even have to involve the
That's
insurance.
okay, Hardy. I can hop in and help out too.
Well,
Because
he
Dan
said-
wants to make a clarification as
All
he
right.
joins us.
Well, let's bring on Dan Roach right now. And what do you want to clarify something first here, Dan? What is it?
Good morning. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.
Yeah, Fred had to
Kendra.
step out for a moment, but
Yeah, I understand.
Yes, and Merry
But Fred
Christmas
was saying
to
that
you.
I wanted to come on the show. All I did simply yesterday was towards the end of the show, I texted Adam and said, "Hi, Adam, is this the last day for all of you before Christmas?" And I was just going to reach out and text you guys Merry Christmas. And he said today was Nick's last day. Tomorrow, John, Ryan, Fred, Hardy, I have here through Friday. Want to do a segment with us? ? Maybe call in Thursday morning at 7:25. That was the text. So
yes.
Oh, so it wasn't you clamoring for airtime.
I thought you were dropping a hint, Dan. I thought that I interpreted your initial text as Dan, maybe Dan wants to come on and do a little, holiday chat with us, talk a little bit of Patriots, talk a little bit of Red Sox. And, Dan, you're part of the show, and it's a delight having you on. So I apologize. I probably should have asked in a different way.
No apology necessary, but you know how Fred is. Dan wants to come on the show. Maybe he has an announcement. Maybe something's wrong.
I was hoping for an announcement of some kind.
I know. I feel bad.
Well, tell me something interesting. It's been too long since we've talked to you. That there must have something must have transpired in your life since the last time you were on.
Boy, I officiated a wedding. Is that new? We talked about that.
Was it at Disney?
No, I wish it was. That was the anniversary is 2 years now for that. Well, 3 years now.
Yeah.
Wow. This week. But no, it was at the Danversport. Have you been to the Danversport Yacht Club?
No.
I used to have my proms there, Dan. I'm very familiar with the Danversport Yacht Club.
Yes. So it was nice. I had a good time. My daughter's best friend growing up.
I was going to say, who is taking their nuptials so seriously that they would have Dan Roach officiate their wedding? It's really,
yes, exactly.
It really speaks to somebody who is going into this, with the proper mature attitude.
Yes. So yes, her friend Brianna. So it was nice, and Riley. It was a wonderful couple. Nice ceremony. Excellent.
So do you get? I'm sure you didn't charge them for this, but you have to be like ordained or licensed in some way in order to do this.
Yes, you have to get for Massachusetts. You get a 1-day license for it. Florida, you had to go through a whole process and get it done too. So every state is different, but it was it's interesting. I thought it was fun. I had a good time doing it, and it's one of those things that it's funny because when I showed up, the guy who was there, like who runs, like who's the DJ and who does, all the audio and everything else, I got there and he's like, "So where's your binder?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" I said, I have notes on my iPad, and that's about it. And he's like, "Oh my gosh." He goes, "I've been doing this for 20 years. I've never seen anybody who doesn't have everything written out, doesn't have the notes. And I was going to put it on here, and then I was going to put your microphone here so everyone could hear you. And everything." It's like, that's a little interesting. I'm like, I think I'll be fine.
Yeah, it's like, shut up, dummy. I'm a professional. I'm on TV every day. I don't need all that crap.
Yeah, so it was good.
Yeah.
So,
all right, so
good.
we had a conversation the other day, Dan, when Bob Sosi was on. And the question was, we had our top 3 nicest guys in Boston sports media. And your name got brought up. And I'm curious as to how you would rank yourself in terms of just nicest guy. That was the only moniker given to this. And the three combatants are you, Bob Socci, and Mike Reese.
No Michael Hawley?
In terms of like a nice guy?
I think he's the nicest. I mean, Roachy number one. But
I love Holly, and I get along great with him, and he's a nice guy. But these three guys take nice to a new level. But there are caveats and there are qualifiers that I added in almost immediately in this discussion. First of all, Dan, would you like to say anything about being a finalist for top 3 nicest guy in Boston sports media?
I think Mike Reese goes number 1, right? That's the way I have to look at it in my life. And then I would go Socci, Socci number 2. Socci and I are kind of like the same type of guys. We kind of float along in life and, try to do the best we can, do a good job, good family man and everything else. And, I think Michael Hawley is right up there, too. So, Kendra, I'm with you on that one. But I think maybe, Hardy, maybe you should have said it this way, because Fred's been saying this for 20 years, is who do you think has the dark side?
Well, that's
because I think you know me well enough, because I don't think you'll ever work with me again after we did the Boston Marathon, because I was so excited that day and basically just took the show over for you and aggravated the hell out of you. So I won't be doing that again.
First of all, in your wildest dreams, you could never take a show over from me. Okay, that's cute that you would think that. But I don't necessarily I didn't tap into the dark side aspect of you. I said both you and Socci have an edge. Now I think your edge is sometimes performative, but it's there. And, you can't bring it out unless some of it is authentic. Socci definitely has, like, a serious side that sometimes, I don't know, belays the niceness a little bit. So it's not always just, nice, happy-go-lucky all the time. But what we agree on is that Reese takes the prize. There isn't a nicer guy.
I agree. Because Mike is just all the time. Like, see, what I have, I think, Hardy, is I don't have a dark side. I have an edge from the sense of I like, what's the best way I could put this? Like Fred's daughter, Zoe, being on a team, right? The Newton South JV basketball team now.
Yeah.
I think that there's nothing better than being part of a team. And I've always felt that way since I was a kid and everything else. And I think one of the best parts of being on a team is off camera, off mic, or what have you, is you can give each other grief nonstop. And that's what I like to do. You know what I mean? So I'll rag on people, Mike Reese or what have you, and Bob Socci and those guys. That's where my edge comes in, if you want to give me an edge, because I don't think I snap or anything like that. I don't think I would ever snap at anybody. So Fred insists that I did because I couldn't watch my daughter's softball game on the iPad at Fenway Park when we were watching the PC game, and he thinks I got mad. And he saw me get mad.
Do you feel that level of positivity and energy as a member of the WBZ TV sports team? And if you could speak to your favorite team members that you have.
Well, we don't have a lot of team left, but no, it's the Steve Burton is.
Sure.
He's the best. You know what I mean? He's like a brother to me.
Okay.
He's just a totally, I want to say, put it this way, he's the luckiest man in the world. Luckiest. I always say to Steve, if you, Steve, were going to a game, let's say he was going to the Baltimore game this week.
Yeah.
He could arrive 30 minutes before the flight, get and park his car up on the curb and flip his keys to a security guy or something and say, hey, buddy, could you watch this? I'll be right back. Right. And nothing would happen to the car. And I get there 3 hours early and I'm worried about, everything else at an airport.
Well, you have to prepare all his notes for him. So you have to get there early.
Exactly. And he would walk up to the flight. They'd just be closing the door. And he'd say, hey, I'm sorry I'm late. Hey, I'm sorry. It's just I was busy, da-da-da-da. And then they would say, sure, here you go. You're all okay to go in. And then they would bump up. By the way, we bumped you up to first class. That's what they would do. That's what happens to him.
Fred has told the story about being like in a theater or something where Steve Burton was either recognized or announced as being there, and he said the people lost their minds. Like
yes.
He's got that it factor with the crowd and the audience.
He could run for mayor. That's what I've always thought. He could run for mayor of Boston because everywhere he goes, it's just he's not only that, but he welcomes it. You know what I mean? Like, you're kind of like that kind of guy. You come up to say, hey, Hardy, I listen to you all the time, and you'll make small talk and what have you, like most of us. But he will go above and beyond. Hey, you want a picture? Hey, handshake. Hey, do you have a baby I could kiss? It's just like he's the ultimate politician, and he works it better than anybody I've ever seen in my life. So,
yeah, except for the fact that I don't know if this is across the board or if it's me specific. You remember we saw him on the golf course earlier this year, and we went over to him. We were like, "Hey, what are you doing here?" And you had to introduce me to him, though I've met him 8 times. I don't know, maybe in the last 2 years on that same golf course. So I think that's a quality that a lot of politicians have, even if they don't necessarily remember somebody, they act as though they do.
Yes.
He needs
Artie,
to work on that aspect.
I don't think he knew who I was when I first saw him because I had a hat on and everything too. You know what I mean? So that's the other part. And I'll never forget going to his dad's funeral, Ron, and one of the brothers, I think Ron Jr., got up there and said, one of the things I loved about my dad is he called everybody buddy. And it was, everybody felt warm, welcome, and everything else, but it was because he didn't know their name, And Steve, that is Steve to a T.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'll be there having a conversation with him, and I'll come over and start talking to him, and some guy comes up and starts talking to Steve like he was his best friend, say things and everything else, and the guy will leave, and Steve will go, "Hey, do you know that guy's name?"
Right.
I'll be like, "No, Steve, I thought you knew him real well." I do. And he has nobody. The other thing too is he has nobody. Your phone book, like in your phone, he doesn't write down names. So like somebody calls, it's just an area code. And I'm like, Steve, how do you know who the heck it is? Because I don't know. I just pick up and say hello.
Yeah, there you go. Do you have any thoughts on what your Red Sox are doing, or more accurately, on what they're not doing?
Immediately ticked off, but then you just got to be patient, right? I thought if you would come out, I wanted them to do what Dave Dombrowski used to do. And day one, sign Bregman, Alonso, and then use, Casas and other things for going out to acquire a number 2 pitcher. And boom, be done. Go have a holiday Christmas party at Fenway, sell tickets, sell advertising, and you're on your way. Everybody's excited. They didn't do that. Now they're kind of waffling on Bregman, so there's concern. But I think they're going to be good. I just think it's a matter of patience. I think Breslow has done what he said he would do when he came in here, was kind of fix and give you depth in pitching. We've seen that. But I just need a couple right-handed bats here to go with this lineup, and I think that they can be very good. So.
Do you think Sonny Gray is a legit number 2?
No, I don't. I think he's a number 3, number 4. You know what I mean? Like he strikes out guys. He's been good at that and everything else. So he's legit. I'm not saying he's not legit, but again, the rankings are something that as you go, the less and less it means as the season goes on. But no, I want a young hot shot to go with Crochet at the top of that lineup and then just go at people. Yeah. So I don't think he's that. I think he's more of like Giolito was last year for them. You know what I mean? I just, even though Giolito seemed like he had more physical issues and things like that, he always seemed to answer the bell and was good. He was legitimately good. He was a great number 3. So that's kind of how I look at him. And maybe we get it from some of the kids and some of the people that they've acquired, but I'd still like to see a younger pitcher come in here and do some damage with them.
Roachy, talk to me about the Patriots this weekend. Lamar Jackson misses practice due to his yearly flu or illness. I think that he has the immune system of a Victorian child, but what do you think about the Pats matchup this weekend?
It's been magical, right? The whole run has been great. I like this team a lot. I love how they've come together, confident group and what have you. But this is, to me, this is what sports is all about Sunday night, right? It's the biggest challenge they'll face coming off what the biggest challenge was in the Buffalo Bills, where they fell flat at the end. And now how do they respond, right? That's the best part of, we talked about being on a team, is how do they respond? I think they've got as difficult a test as you're going to see, only because they don't have Milton Williams for one more game. And Robert Spillane was in the boot yesterday as we saw him in the locker room. You worried about his foot. Christian Ellis didn't practice yesterday. They had 5 starters on defense not practice. And Baltimore's best ability is running the football. I think they're 5th in the NFL at almost 150 yards per game with Henry and Lamar. So it's a huge challenge for them. And for me, that's what you want, right? This is gut check time to see if this story can continue to be a great story, or if this Patriots team has run its course and is going to have a much more difficult time eventually making the playoffs, but having to go on the road and everything else. So this is, to me, I don't want to use the term must win, but it's close when it comes to what they have to do on Sunday. So I'm curious. I'll be down there in Baltimore. It'll be fun, cool to watch and see how it unfolds.
Can you give me a score prediction?
I think it's going to be lower because I think both teams are going to try to run the football. So, low 20s. What's the over-under? It's like 46.5 or something like that. Is that what we saw yesterday? 48.5?
If you can give me 2 seconds, I can tell you what it is right now.
Yeah, but I think it's going to be lower only because both teams are going to try to run the football. And we'll see how long that takes. But the Patriots have pretty been consistent. Last week, again, they went over 23 points. So they've gone over 23 points in 11 straight games, somewhere around there. So, they'll score. But it's just a matter of how many points they allow.
I was going to say the total you can get anywhere from 46.5 to 48.5 right now.
Yeah.
All right. Dan,
I'm not a gambling man, so I would guess the over maybe or right at it.
Oh,
that's a tough one.
All right, don't. If you're going to waffle that much, just take that. Remove all that from your memory, Dan.
Okay.
Even though you did not request to be on the show to the extent I thought you were, I'm glad we had you on. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, all that stuff. It's always good to talk to you.
Yeah. Merry Christmas to both of you and to Freddie when he comes back.
Yeah.
And all of you have a great holiday.
All right, Dan. We'll talk to you soon.
All right. Love you all. Be well.
Okay. There you go. Dan Roach. Always good to have him on, even though he didn't request to be on. I don't know why it was sold to me like that, Adam.
I misunderstood.
Apparently.
I got excited. I get excited when I hear from Dan Roach.
All right, more with Kendra, and Fred will be around
Maybe.
as he's dealing with something. That's all right. We will continue on here on Toucher and Hardy. Stay with us.
Essentials.
buddy and me.
With friends like these,
to climb up a tree.
you know.
We're the best friends you can be, my buddy and me.
Now,
Me.
more of your best morning buddies, Toucher and Artie, on the Sports.
Yesterday, and that is an update of sorts on Jason Tatum.
He's not going to be back until he's 110% healthy, and he feels good about it. Obviously, he's itching to play. Obviously, he hates watching, but he's also, I don't want to speak for him, but very cognizant of the need to meet every threshold and why there are those things that are put in place.
So the main point is that, yeah, he's doing well. People see him out there. There's all this conversation. There's all these timelines that have been, put forth, either theorized on or, even sourced in some cases. But his thing is 110%. All these thresholds have to be met. As much as he wants to play, he knows that, and we're not putting him out there until he's not just ready, but more than ready.
I got to be honest, I think that they brought this conversation on themselves when that video of him practicing with one-on-one with, I think it was his trainer, I don't know if it was a team trainer or his personal trainer, was released. When you put that out there, it kind of makes it seem as though he's, gonna come back sooner than people think. So I'm not surprised he's been asked this question, but until he's, out there working and, a full drill with multiple other people, kind of cutting on that ankle, all of that kind of stuff. I don't see why we should be even thinking that he would come back any sooner. Like, I get that they've teased maybe late February, early March, but the team's playing better than people thought. There's chemistry. You don't mess it up until he's 110%.
Yeah, I don't think there's anybody who would say like, oh, if he's close, you just risk it and you bring him back. And even right now, 26 games into the season, it seems even foolish to talk about, well, is the team playing better? I think they're fine. I think they're getting some good play from players like Jordan Walsh that maybe you didn't expect. But there were plenty of people who thought, oh, they'll be more than fine. You still have Jaylen Brown out there. You've got a 1 and a 1A, so that to say that a record that's 4 games above 500, 26 games in, is to say that they're performing beyond expectation. I don't think that's the case. I think plenty of people thought they would at least be this good because you've still got Jaylen Brown out there.
Yeah. Pardon me if you have voiced your opinion on this already and I missed it, but what did you think about the Giannis to Boston conversation?
Oh, I think it's a waste of breath.
Yeah, me too.
I don't think there's any chance of that happening. I mean, I honestly, how do you logically or in a sane way have that discussion even amongst yourselves when months ago you're talking about, well, new owners, first thing they're going to do is get rid of these two max guys, and you can't have that anymore in the NBA. What, are you going to bring in Giannis now?
Yeah, it's
no.
It's one, the new owners came in, so they didn't want to spend a lot of money. That's why Porzingis is gone. That's why he's no longer on this team. I don't know why. In any world, you think they would bring a big contract in here like that without shipping off probably Jaylen Brown, who's been the glue holding this team together the entire season and is expected to be through the long haul. I don't think that Giannis would be a fit on this team just because he's been, the crowned prince in Milwaukee. In a small market, he's their guy. He brought a championship to the city. If you bring him here, that's no longer going to be him. It's not going to be his team regardless. It's always going to be Tatum's team. And 3, you're messing up any kind of chemistry that you have going on with this team right now by bringing him in. So there's no way you're going to have all 3 of them. You'd have to get Jaylen Brown out of here to make it work. It doesn't make any sense. I also agree that it was probably a waste of breath.
It's interesting when you look at the schedule and you talk about that late February, early March window. There's a road trip that takes them starting February 19th at Golden State, at the Lakers, at Phoenix, at Denver. And there are back-to-backs at the end of that trip at Phoenix and Denver. Now, you wouldn't necessarily expect Jason Tatum to be an every game player, much less playing both nights of a back-to-back. But do you bring a player back like that on the road, or do you bring him back at home?
I think you bring him back at home against a team that you're not worried about, like probably a Western Conference game that doesn't matter as much. Let him ease into it at home. Sleep in your own bed, wake up in your own bed, that whole vibe. I'm trying to pull up the schedule and
Middle of March against Phoenix?
Yeah, that's not a bad shout. I would say that, yeah. That would be an easy game for them to And I think that would probably be like the proper timeline. I know that he had the same surgeon as Aaron Rodgers, correct?
Look, due to HIPAA laws, I'm not allowed to discuss that with you.
Oh.
Kendra.
Is that real?
No.
Oh, I was going to say. I was like, is that a serious thing?
I don't know who his surgeon was.
I'm pretty sure he had the same surgeon as Aaron Rodgers, and they did the same quote-unquote speed bridge procedure, which is why we're even having the conversation of him maybe coming back early. It's the same thing with Rodgers at the end of last year. And do I think that it was probably a lot of smoke and mirrors with him just being like, well, if we're, in the playoffs or in contention, I'm going to show up and be the hero and come back at 40-something years old from this Achilles injury. I think that was mostly just Aaron Rodgers talking like Aaron Rodgers. But if they had the same surgery and truly he was ready in that moment from the same surgeon with this speed bridge, whatever, then yeah, I think that mid-March is probably the perfect time to try and ease him back up into this lineup.
Quickly, do you have a landing spot that you like for Giannis?
Yeah, I do. I think probably the Rockets or the Knicks. Those are the two teams that I've been continuously saying.
The Knicks would be interesting.
Yeah.
As a Celtics fan, it's the last thing that you want. I mean, that is nothing you want to deal with. I think there's probably more options, Western Conference, if you want to divide it that way, with teams that might be able to pull it off and would truly benefit from it. I mean, realistically, anybody would benefit from his presence there, but can you make it work with what you already have in place?
The reason I think the Knicks is because they could put a package deal together for him that would make sense, but also he's been linked to the Knicks for a long time now. That's been somewhere that he's actively advocated that he wants to be, and I don't believe Doc Rivers when he says that Giannis has never requested a trade, because there were rumors about him, before he signed this contract, maybe going somewhere else, and this offseason, him having conversations with the Knicks. So the fact that he's been linked to them for so long makes sense to me. And getting him somewhere like Houston, I think Houston's already, on an insane upward trajectory, but that might put them in a real tough conversation to be had.
All right. So we have a list of the top grossing concerts, not from this year, but from this century, going all the way back to 2001. So it would be one thing to try and guess what those tours might be, the top grossing tours, but something else altogether when you consider who may have been there. So we will discuss that, and we'll do that with you, Kendra, and with Fred, as he, I'm sure, will be rejoining us soon here on Toucher and Hardy. Hold on.
More.
Sports Hub headlines. Presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Some breaking news coming at this 8 o'clock hour. According to ESPN, the U.S. government has admitted to its role in a Washington, D.C. plane crash that killed a group of figure skaters some months ago. And the Bruins are back on the ice tonight for the second game of a 5-game home stretch. They'll be hosting the Edmonton Oilers. You can tune into pregame with RJ and Bob at 6:30 for Puck Drop at 7 right here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. And the Fenway Sports Group yesterday making some money to spend on their soccer endeavors. They sold the Pittsburgh Penguins to a Chicago-based family for $1.7 billion US dollars. 1.7 billion US dollars. That is crazy. Only one more day until playoff college football begins. We will kick off the weekend with a Friday night matchup between number 9 Alabama visiting number 8 Oklahoma. Alabama hasn't lost to the same team in a single season since 1893, and the rest of the games will continue Saturday afternoon. And tonight, a showdown for the NFC's top spot takes place between the Rams and the Seahawks. Devontae Adams is doubtful for tonight, and the Seahawks have ruled out Charles Cross at left tackle. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Service Credit Union. They're teaming up with Charlie McAvoy for 73 reasons to provide funding and health screenings for first responders. Learn more at servicecu.org/73. You're listening to 98.5 The Sports Hub, Boston's home for sports. I'm Kendra Middleton, and your next update is around 8:30.
The Bruins play here.
Oh boy, I guess it's time for more Toucher and Hardy on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Hey, we are Toucher and Hardy. And you could watch us on YouTube. Go to 98.5 The Sports Hub. Search that on YouTube and subscribe. I've been on the phone with my car insurance. I guess my son's in the middle of a road. A lot of hoops to jump through to get someone to come out there to tow the car and to take care of this. The guy hit him and took off, and now this is all what's going on. All right, but Hardy, there are ways to get over the travails of life.
Well,
and such as and entertainment is there to save us. Art is there to save us.
Not just art, but taking in art in a live atmosphere. And we all know that post-COVID, people are crazy for the concerts. They want to get out. They want to commune. They want to have some fellowship with their fellow music lovers. And the concert business has been fantastic, especially in the last 5 years. But if you go back to the year 2001 and you take in the entire century that is this last 25 years now of touring, Polestar has put together their most popular touring artists of the millennium. Now, this is ranked by number of tickets sold. So this is not necessarily what the total gross was or the average gross or even the average ticket price, just the number of tickets sold to see these artists.
So a lot of dates, big venues.
That would be a great way of trying to figure out who is on this list. But that's not all, Fred. We will also determine our favorite and most prolific concert goer that is a part of this show, one Mike Reese. So there will be not just a dual quiz going on here where you will have to determine what these top grossing or these top attended tours are, but whether or not Mike Reese attended these tours at any stop, again, going back to the year 2000.
Now, again, a day I wasn't here, you had Air Supply. They had reached out. They had heard us talking about them, and their manager had reached out, and Mike Reese had the opportunity to talk to the gentleman from Air Supply.
It was a big day for both of them.
He goes to all these horrible shows that you can't imagine that anyone would attend. So, but these are big ones. And so if Reese will go see Bryan Adams not once but twice, he would, of course, go see these shows.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right.
Okay.
So, Kendra, feel free to jump in on any of these. Just see if you can name...
On the off chance I know anything.
Well, no, this is...
I mean, you'll obviously have heard of these artists.
Yeah, out of the last 25 years, who do you think is the most tickets sold to any artist, touring artist in the millennium? So it's not just one tour either. It's just people who have sold a lot of tickets to see them play live.
Okay. All right. Well, I would imagine, should I start with my thing? I would imagine Taylor Swift is the
That was
number
gonna be my
one.
guess.
Taylor Swift is absolutely correct, Fred. And if I could have that.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Taylor Swift is on there. Now, the question becomes, has Mike Reese seen Taylor Swift?
Okay, so here's the thing, is that Mike Reese obviously appreciates that because he's a man who's been through much heartbreak. He's a man who holds a grudge against all his prior lovers. There's no question about it. He is, you got to figure a Swiftie, but the thing is, could he work his way into the show? These tickets are going for thousands of dollars. Is it worth to him? That's like 85 Air Supply shows for one Taylor Swift concert. My guess is that Mike Reese has not seen Taylor Swift.
I'm going to say he has.
Fred, you are correct. He has not seen Taylor Swift. Now, the real question is, in Mike Reese's own words, what does he deem an equivalent?
Oh, okay. Stevie Nicks. Stevie Nicks. A femme fatale from eons ago. She does Landslide, forgets the lyrics now, which happened. It shows her own age. It's heartbreaking. Stevie Nicks.
Let's see if you're right, Fred.
Never got.
No.
Do you know the Circle Jerks?
No.
You know, they did a song together, the Circle Jerks and Debbie Gibson. There was a big video for it. I Want to Destroy You is the name of the song.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Is it legal for him to see Debbie Gibson? Because she's not even gay. Mike's not gay, but she's not even gay camp. Like, she doesn't even check that box.
No, there's no reason to go to a Debbie Gibson show unless, you're a very specific age group and a woman.
Or unless that Applebee's is just where you have happy hour on Thursdays.
All right, so Taylor Swift is an excellent guest. That was the fifth most attended. Fifth? Yes, there are 4 artists ahead of Taylor Swift.
Okay, Metallica?
Metallica is on the list. Very good. Has Mike Reese attended a Metallica concert?
Absolutely. Really?
Mike Reese has not been to Metallica. Now, who is the Mike Reese equivalent?
Nazareth. I'm going to say...
I miss Metallica, fellas. I did see Tesla, though, up in Hampton Beach.
Oh, wow.
So in Mike Reese's world, he missed out on seeing Metallica, which 15,500,000 other people did going back to the year 2001, but he did see Tesla at the Hampton Beach Casino Ballroom.
So I'm sensing budgetary constraints on his travels. You have to be able to get there by car, and ticket prices have to be under $12, is what I'm guessing. That's what I'm getting from this.
Yeah.
I have a guess. Coldplay.
Oh, very good, Kendra.
Oh,
absolutely right.
Coldplay is a situation where you go and you put your arms around a moderately attractive woman and it ruins your life.
Right. So everybody,
two very moderately attractive people just couldn't keep their hands off each other.
Coldplay is the number one touring artist in terms of tickets sold. Almost 25 million tickets sold.
There's no better place to be as a band than just a band that no one really likes that much, but they feel obligated to go to.
I love Coldplay.
No, you don't.
I do.
No, you might enjoy songs by Coldplay. They don't speak to you. Like you don't have this Coldplay makes you cry. They give you big emotions.
Yeah.
But do you put on a Coldplay album and listen to it start to finish?
I have. I would say I'm not that type of music listener just because I wasn't born in the era of record players.
There's albums still put record players. Yet neither really were we. But again,
you still had CD players and Walkmans and all that crap. I'm Spotify.
Okay, I understand that, but you're also 30, and Spotify is not as old as
30.
you. You're 29. And how old is Spotify? 15 years? So for your teenage years, you had to listen to CDs.
I had an iPod.
Some formative listening.
I have had an iPod since I was in 5th grade.
Yeah, I know, but albums were purchased on iPods.
You still put it on shuffle. You just purchased songs. You didn't buy albums.
But artists still put out albums. Who's your favorite band?
Favorite band?
Or favorite artist?
Probably Coldplay.
Okay, but do you own Coldplay, or do you listen to Coldplay albums? Like, would you know all the songs
When I saw them over the summer, I knew every song.
All right, so you listened to the album.
Yeah, but not. The question was, do I listen to it from start to finish? And the answer to that is, I have, but no.
Okay, so but you have. Right, I like bands and I like albums. I don't listen to them start to finish every day, but yeah, you've listened to it start to finish. Okay.
More importantly, though, I mean, 25 million tickets sold to go see Coldplay, and Mike Reese goes to every concert. So has he been to see Coldplay?
No, too expensive.
That is correct.
Yeah, there's no way. Okay, so the equivalent of Coldplay. All right, I'm really going to try. I'm not going to try to be funny. Thankfully for everyone, I'm not going to try to be funny. This is Coldplay he's going to consider them like an alternative band. So he is going to.
But he hasn't been.
But he hasn't seen an alternative band.
This is tough.
So what would be the equivalent? I really want to get it right. Coldplay's a band with 5 guys.
Yeah. You're okay. Good.
I'm trying to think of someone like Cheap and Lame from the 80s.
Yes. You're so there.
It's like the B-52s or...
I've seen the B-52s and they go crazy.
Okay, but it's not the B-52s.
No, they're more serious than that.
Yeah. What was the name of 7 Mary 3?
Oh, come on. Don't. You were trying.
I am. I'm
You're
seriously trying to... Oh. Matchbox 20. Matchbox 20.
Hey guys, I actually missed that Coldplay concert in Foxborough. But thankfully, I was able to get to Toto in Boston.
Oh, well, that's not. I was never going to get that in a million years.
That's an 80s band. There's like 5 guys in it.
Yeah, but there was a documentary about the yacht rock bands, and they include Toto. And oh boy,
not a yacht rock band.
Well, they are considered one. And what happened is you should hear the way the way they look now is hysterical, and B, they're hanging on to every rock and roll thing. They were nerds in the beginning, but they are just loved. I can't tell you how loved they are. Well, the best musicians to ever live, are they? Because of Rosanna. All right, go ahead.
All right, so a couple of big tours. A big touring artist that Mike Reese has seen. I will just tell you off the bat, U2 and Ed Sheeran. He's been to see both of them.
Okay. He saw Ed Sheeran, which was expensive, and U2, which is expensive. They were worth his time. Okay.
Right. Now, here's an interesting one. The artist known as Pink
is on there?
She is the 11th most popular touring artist of the millennium.
He has seen Pink, and here's why. Sneaky affordable. Bad seats to a Pink show.
It's excellent reasoning. Kendra,
I'm
you agree?
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Mike Reese has not been to see Pink.
I missed Pink, fellas.
Chupow.
But I did get to see Hart at a Guinness.
How old is he? Because these are bands from when I was like...
I believe Mike's 50. I think he's your age.
Yeah, because these are like prepubescent bands. Like, Hart was, I mean, Barracuda's before, I was sentient. This is, but like the pop Hart, like before 10 years old. All right, go ahead.
All right, has Mike Reese been to see the Eagles?
No.
Attended an Eagles concert, and those tickets are expensive.
It must have been like a freebie from the Pats or something.
What about Billy Joel?
Oh, yeah.
Correct. He did go see Billy Joel.
Yeah.
There are a couple of other artists here, and very, very popular in terms of how many tickets they've sold. The Rolling Stones.
That was going to be my guess. I was between them and Elton John.
Yeah, so he's been to see the Rolling Stones.
Yeah, he's absolutely seen the Rolling Stones.
And he has not seen the Rolling Stones.
Hey, guys, I missed the Rolling Stones the last time they came down to Foxborough. But, you can still rock in America, and Night Ranger
is something else. He's someone that should be working at Valvoline. Like, he's a kid that was like he was in like a Votech kid.
You just got such a loud laugh out of 12. I heard it through the plexi.
I'll tell you. He's
a funny line.
He's a Votech kid.
Mike Reese working at Valvoline.
Yeah, he was like smoking beat weed in the parking lot, like while you were walking to class. He had the girl, like the strangely hot girl with the big boobs, but she only hung out with the Heschers. There was one at every school.
He'd work his way up to manager, though. I'll give him
You
credit
run
for
that place with an iron fist.
No, he'd be manager, but
Yeah.
he still needs a job you can smoke at.
I have another guess.
Okay.
I'm going to go with. Does it count if it's the Grateful Dead and Dead and Company?
We didn't
those
see
that-
Dead and Company. There's no
But
way.
I'm at. But
are they on
yeah,
that list?
That's my question. Is if they combine the two, then I think that they should be there.
Well,
but
the
if
Grateful
they,
Dead doesn't tour. It would be Dead and Company.
well, that's why I'm asking.
Yeah, I think that's an excellent guess, but they are not one of the top
Then they must not combine the two.
touring artists.
Okay, so it has to be 25 years. So is
You're missing-
AC/DC?
AC/DC is not on.
Fleetwood Mac.
Fleetwood?
Because
No.
I mean, what?
I'm trying to. Foo Fighters?
No, another really good guess because they're constantly touring.
Can you give me a time frame?
Okay, the number 4 band has not been mentioned. They've been around since 1995. They have
Green Day?
They have I'm guessing 95, but I think I'm right on this. They have a really dedicated fan base.
Creed.
It's kind of a culture, almost like in that Grateful Dead vibe, not as hippie-ish.
Oh,
Something-
not
I was gonna
Dave
say
Matthews
something.
Band.
Very
Yeah,
good,
okay.
Fred. Yes, very good. Has Mike Reese been to a Dave Matthews show?
He gives the
They're
energy
pretty
of yes.
lame. They're pretty lame, but are they lame enough? Now, a guy that works at Valvoline is not seeing the Dave Matthews Band. I'm going to say no.
So what is the equivalent?
Oh, okay. Like he's going to go like singer-songwriter.
No, it's now again, they're kind of freaky, you know. So what's the freakiest band that he would equate to Dave Matthews Band?
Okay, a band that
Fish.
plays by their no, he did not see Fish. A band that plays by their own rules.
Yes.
Are they from the 80s?
No.
Are they from?
They did record into the 80s, but their real freaky period was the 70s.
Is it a? It's not the Allman Brothers because he's
The
dead.
Smiths.
No.
I'm kidding.
Let me see here.
They were freaky.
Okay, Blue Oyster Cult.
Oh, I love Blue Oyster Cult.
Yeah, you do.
Hey guys, I never got to see the Dave Matthews Band, but I gotta tell you, that Jefferson Star.
By the way, Kendra, real quick, the reason that you know that Mike Reese has never seen Fish is because if he had, it's all he would ever talk about.
Yes,
I was gonna say because I don't think he burns, but yeah.
Well, it would be a good. Well, a Dave Matthews Band. You can. Well, I mean, you smoke weed at any of these shows. All right, go
Any
ahead.
jam band.
Final
That's
one, an artist that performed at Gillette Stadium over the last few years, and
It's an artist.
she has sold nearly 12 million tickets worldwide. Average ticket price $150. That tells you something right there.
Okay, so it's got to be a legacy artist.
I was gonna say it sounds like you're. No, it couldn't be.
It was a big deal when she performed at Gillette Stadium.
I don't think Ariana Grande's performed at Gillette.
No,
so.
she's doing residencies at the Garden because I looked into tickets. There's like $5,000 a piece, so my daughter's not going. Okay, it was a big deal when she performed.
I believe her husband was with her.
Beyonce.
Oh, Beyonce. Okay, good call. All right, here we go. Has he seen Beyonce?
Because the midday show got in trouble about the private jet thing. That's the only reason I remember that.
All right,
Now-
Beyonce. What has he seen Beyonce? No.
No, that is correct. He has not seen Beyonce. Now, don't think so much about Beyonce as the person or the artist, but just the genre of music.
Yeah, I get where you're going.
Yeah.
Okay, I can think of someone. How about all right, I'm thinking the 80s.
Good.
I'm thinking black woman.
Good. Don't get set on the gender.
Oh. Okay, so just a black guy.
Or guys.
Okay, New Edition.
Didn't make it to Beyonce. I did get New Edition though. The last.
A Christmas present. And the only thing that she'd want to see is Ariana Grande, who she doesn't want to see that much. And those tickets are legit for anything relatively decent over $3,000. She's playing these like these short residencies at a very few cities, and Boston's one of them. And it's just outrageous. She's doing 3 nights at the Garden, and I've never seen ticket prices this expensive for anything. Legitimately, she hates Taylor Swift, so whatever. But, like, this was the show that, like, out of everything was, like, the most expensive thing I've ever seen. So Mike Reese should write a book called, like, it should be like called so-called. You wore a jean jacket in high school. like you flipped off a teacher in high school.
Or 100 concerts on $100.
Exactly. All right. We'll be back in just a moment. Dave Richards going to join us.
Toucher and Hardy, those scamps. They'll be right back on the Sports Hub.
Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Prospero año y felicidad.
All right. We are Toucher and Hardy. Dave Richard is the fantasy football guru at CBS Sports. There's 3 ways to link up with Dave Richard and his fantasy football advice. On X at Dave Richard, live on YouTube every morning by searching for Fantasy Football Today, and 3 times a week on Fantasy Football Today on the CBS Sports Network. Check local listings. Dave, hello, sir.
Fred, welcome to the fantasy semis. I don't think you have any teams playing in the fantasy semis, but I know a lot of people do, and it's crazy out there. Just the injuries that are piling up on every team. Weather is becoming an issue. Just all kinds of crazy stuff going down.
Okay, so I am going to pivot a little bit from fantasy because I do value you as an analyst as well. Again, Dave is one of the few people out there, and this is very true, that actually professionally consumes every football game played from start to finish, sometimes several viewings. So I do value your opinion. I know our audience does. While many of them may not still be involved in fantasy, they're still watching football. I do want to start with the Bills-Patriots. You had picked the Bills. Every national guy we talked to picked the Bills. Every local guy picked the Patriots, some of them by quite a bit. Obviously, at 21-0, that looked like that was going to be the case. Yeah. Based on that game, who would you like in a third matchup?
Well, who's healthy for New England? Because if the Patriots go into a third matchup missing half their starting defense, like it looks like they might do this week, then it's Buffalo in a landslide. But if the Patriots are healthy, and really the 2 guys that need to be there, on offense it's Will Campbell at left tackle, on defense it's Robert Spillane at linebacker. If those guys are there, and they find somebody who can rush the quarterback, then maybe I could kind of squint and see the Patriots maybe coming up with a way to beat Buffalo. But Buffalo last week, I got to give them a ton of credit. When it was 21-0, I was thinking about our time together and how last week I said Buffalo was going to win. I was like, oh, man, Fred is going to give it to me. And as it turned out, Buffalo made a furious rally. The Patriots really couldn't get off the field on defense. They barely had the ball in the second half. And next thing you know, the Bills with a laugher, runaway win. Crazy.
Yeah, and is that something that speaks to the Bills where they are now for you, or is them getting down 21-0 a concern?
Going down 21-0 is definitely a concern, and the fact that they seem totally unprepared for Drake May using his legs in the red zone was really startling, but they fixed it. And that's what well-coached teams do, and you're seeing that. You didn't see it with the Patriots as much last year, but you're seeing it with the Patriots this year. Good coaches can make a pivot and adjust. And I think that's what the Bills did. On top of that, they were just able, I mentioned it, they controlled the clock. They ran the ball really well. The Patriots really struggled. Their defense was exhausted. We see this time and time again. We see it every week in the NFL where defenses are just tired by the second half and offenses have their way with them. There's something about gaining momentum and confidence when you're seeing your opponent kind of doubled over, hands on hips, breathing heavy, and you know you kind of have them on the ropes. You got them where you want them. You just need to land the final blow. The Bills did that multiple times last week against New England.
Yeah, and they took advantage of situations where obviously the defense had trouble getting off the field, but when they do get off the field after a Buffalo score, the Patriots score on the first play from scrimmage, and next thing you know, defense is right back out there. So, they just finish off a 7 play drive where they get scored on, and instead of having time to regroup and reset, and like you said, Dave, maybe try and work on some adjustments that Buffalo seemed to be able to make that the Patriots were struggling with. No rest for you guys. You got to get back out there. I mean, it was good because the Patriots offense had scored right away, but it gave them no time to rest and to take a look at stuff.
Well, the better example, because the Patriots will take a 65-yard touchdown from Travion any day of the week, but the better example is the start of the second half, where it's a kickoff. Bills have a 6-play drive. I think it was 6 plays. They scored the touchdown. Patriots come back right away. It's a 3-and-out. And so then the defense is right back on the field. There isn't that much difference of time between a 1-play drive and a 3-play drive.
My example was pretty good, Dave. And for you to dismiss it just out of hand like that was kind of a dick move. I mean, come on.
It
Yeah,
was
what a
their
dick
last
move.
score of the game, though. They've got to be able. Listen, they can't have a 65-yard touchdown every single drive, but they can try and do things where Drake May isn't turning the ball over and they're not going 3 and out. There were 2 3-and-outs in the second half. There was a 4-play drive that basically ended the game. That was late in the fourth quarter.
You're right.
You can't have that. You've
It's
got
the
to be
same
able to
thing. Yeah, you're right.
sustain-
It's the same thing. It's a difference of like another minute is all. It's not. It's not a lot of time.
Right, but it's a killer when you don't score the touchdown.
Right.
At least you scored the touchdown on the
Right.
one play, 65-yard. Travion Henderson's amazing. What the hell are these coaches thinking? Not using him even more. Play, drive, game, whatever.
I've got a fantasy football question for you. There's obviously some people listening to this show who are going to be in their finals this week.
Not Fred.
If someone is
No.
looking to replace Jalen Waddle with Quinn Ewers coming in or Patrick Mahomes, where should they be looking on the waiver wires?
Right. So it's going to be difficult at quarterback because a lot of quarterbacks are rostered at this point. I lost Patrick Mahomes in like half of my playoff leagues, and I'm turning to Tyler Shuck in one league. I did like J.J. McCarthy, but now that I know that his offensive line is starting to look pretty bad, I'd want to get away from him. Maybe you can find a C.J. Stroud on your waiver wire in your league. Maybe someone dropped Justin Herbert. Maybe you trust Kirk Cousins in a favorable matchup, but it's really tough. And you're right to get away from Jalen Waddle because I think Quinn Ewers will be okay for Devon Achane. I don't think he'll be as good for the receivers and the tight ends in Miami. It definitely worries me a little bit. Adonai Mitchell was added and then dropped. I would go back and add him. I thought he had good chemistry last week with Brady Cook, and I know he's out there in a lot of leagues. Jalen Coker is another flavor of the month. He's not necessarily a fast guy for Carolina, but he's a big guy, and he kind of plays with a veteran savvy. He's really good at like contorting his body to get open and make some contested catches. I think he's not bad. Those would be 2 guys that I would look for as possible replacements, potentially for Jalen Waddle.
Okay. When you look at the situation in Kansas City, with Patrick Mahomes, and I guess, he's already rehabilitating the knee, and who knows when they'll be back. What is Kansas City hard reset? Is this an excuse for them? What do they need to do to get into like a second era of if they want to be a dynasty?
They need to lose the rest of their games this year, have a top 10 pick, trade out of the top 10 to get extra picks, and then spend every pick they have on offensive linemen. Because that's the problem. It was the problem. Remember that Super Bowl loss against Tampa when Patrick Mahomes just had absolutely no chance. The tackles were terrible. The Bucs swarmed him. That was game over. That's what happened this year, and this time it cost Patrick Mahomes his knee. They can't let that happen again. So job one is going to be protecting Patrick Mahomes and getting that offensive line in tip-top shape with really good depth. I would imagine that's what they're going to do, and I don't blame them for it. Their defense is still pretty good, relatively young. The receiving core, the same thing, although replacing Travis Kelce, I don't know if they necessarily need to get somebody who's as good as Kelce, but they're going to have to make adjustments around whatever they have on the offensive line. But making it deep and making it solid, they have to do that, especially since Mahomes, I don't think Mahomes is going to end up missing a game. I bet he ends up starting week 1 next year, but they need to protect him. They cannot let him play behind a bad offensive line like this ever again.
Okay, the Ravens are a very interesting team because on paper they should be very talented, and I know you've seen every game.
Sort of.
I've seen them play. Well, I mean, they have stars. But the thing is that when you watch them, which I've been unfortunate to have done a few times this year, we talked to a Ravens writer about it yesterday. They seem disinterested. Like they appear unlike any other team that has a chance of making the playoffs. They're playing the Patriots on Sunday night. What's their health? What do you think of that team? Them at home. What do you make of that game?
I think the Ravens can find a way, especially going back to the injuries that the Patriots have. There just is no substitute for depth, and I don't know how good the depth is on New England right now. And New England's pass rush hasn't necessarily been great. I think it's like 6 or 7 straight games where they have 2 or fewer sacks. They're not getting to the quarterback. When I watch the Ravens offense, the line is okay. Derrick Henry is starting to look like his age. And I get it. I feel like I'm getting a different Lamar Jackson every single week. 2 games ago, he looked sharp. I thought that he was ready to break out. He played Cincinnati. He was real panicky in the first half, and then someone got him to chill out, and then he was too chilled out in the second half, and he was missing wide open targets. And yet he still could have been really good for fantasy if Zay Flowers could just hold on to the football 2 times. His interception last week came off of a bobble from Zay Flowers. So if we get sharp Lamar Jackson, Patriots are done for. I don't know if we're going to get that. And if the run defense isn't any good, the Patriots are done for that way too, because the Ravens, not only do they have Derrick Henry, they've got this speedy back named Keaton Mitchell, tore his ACL a year ago he's come back. He looks just as fast as he did before the injury. They've got that thunder and lightning combo. I think they lean into that this week, especially if the Patriots just can't do anything about it. And we might have a repeat of the second half of last week against Buffalo, where the Ravens just dominate time of possession. Patriots have to go into a different type of mode on offense. They can't be as balanced. And the secondary for Baltimore, that's the strength of their defense right now. Their front isn't great. They can't rush the quarterback well either. And their run defense, they lost one of their top run stoppers in Teddy Buchanan. That could help the Patriots if they stick to the run. I just don't know if they're going to have the chance to do that in the second half of this game.
Yeah, and so you like the Ravens in this game?
I do like the Ravens to come away with a 1-score win. It'll be close.
Okay.
The Ravens aren't good enough to blow out the Patriots, I don't think.
So you don't love the -3 number?
It could very well be a 24-21 type game, and it wouldn't surprise me.
Okay. All right. Well, look, that's 2 games in a row you've picked against the home team Patriots. You do that at your own peril, Dave Richard.
I'm fully aware, Fred.
How dare you be this?
Oh, you're going to hear it.
I did it last week, and people were real pissed.
I'll tell you what, and you are right to pick out Spillane. You cannot expect a team to win without Spillane.
He's such a difference maker against the run, and they know it. And defense, the other opponents know it too.
I'm being sarcastic because I see injuries. You're not the first person to bring that up, and when I just see injuries across the league, I'm like, you can't win without Spillane. Every team.
Spillane is good, and Ellis is hurt.
Lions are playing with no secondary.
Marcus Jones is hurt. If all these guys miss the game,
no, that's a lot of injury, and I understand. And they have big injuries. Like Milton Williams is a big injury. Like you're losing your left tackle is a big injury for anything.
Yes.
Those are big injuries. Journeyman middle linebacker. You got to be able to play around that. That's just my thought on that. I mean, they're playing 17 games. Look at the injuries on these playoff teams. They're all completely banged up. It's insane.
It's really come down to the NFL being like a war of attrition, and whichever team is healthiest is the one that makes the Super Bowl.
And which is great for the league, too. They really should push it to 18 games and test everyone's patience when no stars are playing at the end of the season.
Right.
That will be fantastic for everyone.
We'll have another Super Bowl with Hostetler and Reich.
I'm telling you, between playing in the Middle East and making teams go out there and stretching the game to season to 18 games, there is going to be a point where the NFL screws up. I make this all the time. If you go back to a newspaper in 1950, which is in people's lifetime still on this planet, horse racing, boxing, and baseball, there's no guarantees.
Well, it'll be fun having people rooting for teams to sit their favorite players toward the ends of season. And having that be a thing, over the last 3 weeks. That'll be great.
Yeah, that whole, which backup quarterback can take us through? Or is this game worth trying because it's for home field, but is it that important that we risk injury? Those kinds of things. All right, Dave. What a year for you. Phenomenal, as always. You are our longest-running guest. We love you so much. And I wish you all the best into the new year. And it's always a great day, your first day back on the air with us.
I look forward to it. Anytime you guys want to talk football, I'm around.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind having you on during the playoffs if you wouldn't mind, even if it's not fantasy.
I'm here.
I do respect your football knowledge. Not everyone, Dave, doesn't just push you for fantasy. I respect you as a well-rounded football analyst. Do you understand that?
Feels good, Fred. Thank you.
Well, that's how it's intended. At Dave Richard on all socials. YouTube every morning, Fantasy Football Today, and 3 times a week on Fantasy Football Today on the CBS Sports Network. Check local listings. Dave, we love you. Thank you so much for everything, buddy.
Love you too. Guys, everybody, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
All right, there you go. The great Dave Richard. I figured not everyone can be in these fantasy playoffs, and if you are, you deserve nothing. How dare you? You got enough going on in your life. All right, we'll be back in just a moment. Here are the headlines.
Essential.
No, you don't know.
Everyone agrees that I'm the only one who's not wrong.
Right or wrong, they're back. Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
I've been told to give a shout out to the Weston Police, who have been sitting with my son as we wait the incredible amount of time it takes to get the tow truck. All right, Hardy. Everyone loves pornography. It's $1 billion business, and you got an email referring to this.
An email referring to a post that apparently Pornhub has had a massive data breach.
Mainstream nonsense.
200 million premium subscribers, their search, watch, and download activity, which prompted some, Barstool among them, to release a graphic. This was from some time back, but the terms searched in each state that are searched there more than any other state.
All right.
So if I give you a term, you have to tell me what state searches this term more than any other.
Okay.
All right.
The more repressed states are going to have the best ones. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, along those lines, how about work trip? Now, a person in this state is searching.
Well, obviously Arkansas, because they're
you know what? It's so close. I'm going to give it to you. It's Iowa.
Absolutely. I thought it would be like a Utah thing, like a mission trip.
They don't dare dream beyond anything more. Oh, what about some sex on a work trip? Yes, that's what they're searching in Iowa more than any other state. Here's a good one. Friend's mom. Now, using your powers of deduction, in what state would people be searching friend's mom? Because this is a scenario they could really foresee and think about happening.
You are leading me to a southern state.
It is not a southern state.
All right, because I would just think that's happening.
I'm going to guess Pennsylvania.
Now, what state has some really hot moms?
Oh, well, of course, Ohio. No, Delaware. Texas. California.
There you go, Fred, using the powers of deduction.
All right, I will tell you this, is that that is a complete unnecessary search, because every piece of pornography now is a
Wouldn't
mother
it just be
scenario.
MILF? Yeah.
Just open up the
all
homepage.
It's almost entirely MILF, which is a weird place to be, because I am no longer, as you know, growing up, I was a big fan of The Seduction. In fact, Golden Girls, which you're familiar with, Kendra. The Golden Girls, about three sharp-minded seniors and their elderly mother all living together. There's an episode where Blanche seduces a college boy, and that took my imagination. But now, these gentlemen are much younger than me. I can't relate to the scenario.
How about this? You mentioned MILF. What state searches chubby MILF more than any other state?
Ooh,
Boston, because of our own friend John Wallach.
No, that I'm saying.
Oh, you see, he likes younger bottomy women.
No, but because of John Wallach, the term that is searched more in Massachusetts more than any other state is, it's almost like somebody set this up because they listen to the show.
Is it suffocation?
It's face sitting.
No way.
Face sitting
You
is
swear to
searched
God?
in Massachusetts more than any other state.
What if John is just frantically searching? Face sitting is really number one in Massachusetts?
Well, it is searched more in Massachusetts than any other state. It's not the most searched term, but it's searched more in the Commonwealth. Here in the
If you would
Commonwealth,
have had
more
me
than
guess
any other
that, I
state.
would have not guessed Massachusetts because it's too obvious.
Too obvious, right? Which is why I didn't do it.
I will tell you, not a desire of mine. Not a desire of mine at all. That is all John. But he admits to it.
John is just throwing the algorithm off entirely.
Yes, absolutely.
Chubby MILF is searched in what state more than any other?
Okay, is it a realistic state where this is a scenario?
Yeah, I was going to say, is it somewhere where there's actually women who are more likely to be chubby, or the opposite, and that's why?
Yeah, yes, and it's a state, Fred. You've lived in a few places and have allegiances to a few states.
Georgia.
And spent time in a few states, so this is one that connects to you.
Oh. Well, I don't think it's Atlanta or Florida.
No.
Michigan.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. That's a good guess. Michigan, by the way, amateur wife.
They want the real wife. They want the girl next door.
No, chubby MILF gets searched in Tennessee more than any other state.
Well, I got to tell you, there's no shortage of huge fat pigs there. I have to tell you. Don't make a face, Kendra. They're very heavy. They should be shamed.
Finally, in the Pacific Northwest, there are 2 phrases searched more than any other state. You just tell me back to back.
Heroin lady.
Between Washington and Oregon, who searches furry and who searches milking? Oregon and Washington.
Both of them very non-sexual. Both of them about as far removed to sexuality. Okay, I'm going to say Oregon is furry.
That is correct.
There's no question.
And then,
because that's just like, I don't want to have sex. I just invent something else that I can pretend is sex. And then milking, of course, is Washington.
Of course.
Because of
LBF walking by for this is perfect timing.
Oh, she doesn't even know.
She just walked by and heard milking and looked in here.
She just, like, squiggy bit her fist. I mean, okay. You know, Kendra builds milking tables if you would like to see one. She builds milking tables.
Now, is it too late for the holidays to custom order one?
Tomorrow's your last day.
Oh, okay.
If you
order by tomorrow.
I swear to God, if you came in here with a wrapped milking table for someone. Now, what a milking table is, ladies and gentlemen, I have only a few moments to discuss it. It's just a regular table with a big hole in it. And what you do is you lay face down. You have no idea who's milking you, and nor are they to know who's. Well, Bob doesn't care. Bob is all for it. You should see what Bob gets himself into. He came in here in a whole leather mask one day. All right. Listen, everyone loves a milking table.
Well done on the quiz.
Thank you. I really hit it out of the park.
Yeah.
All right. Look out, Marconi. Another one's coming our way. All right. Look, Phil Perry will be in studio in just a moment.
You're listening to Toucher and Hardy.
Sports Hub headlines. Presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Some breaking news coming from ESPN this morning. The U.S. government has admitted to its role in a Washington, D.C. plane crash that tragically killed a group of figure skaters last year. And the Bruins are back on the ice tonight for their matchup with Connor McDavid and the Edmonton Oilers. You can tune into pregame with RJ and Bob at 6:30 for puck drop at 7 right here on the Sports Hub. And the Fenway Sports Group sold the Pittsburgh Penguins yesterday to a Chicago-based family for $1.7 billion, almost doubling their profit on the purchase. And the college football playoffs get started tomorrow night when we kick it off with number 9 Alabama visiting number 8 Oklahoma, and Miami and Texas A&M will get us going on Saturday afternoon. And tonight, a showdown for the top spot in the NFC takes place between the Rams and the Seahawks. Devontae Adams has been ruled as doubtful for tonight on the Rams side, and the Seahawks have ruled out Charles Cross at left tackle. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by the Shaws and Star Market Foundation. They've teamed up with Andrew Peak for Feeding the Puck for Families and will donate $100 for each assist this season to the Greater Boston Food Bank to help fight food insecurity. Learn more at 985thesportshub.com/feedthepuck. You're listening to 98.5 The Sports Hub, Boston's home for sports. I'm Kendra Middleton, and your next update is around 9:30.
Get the app.
There's the potential there for big stuff.
98.5 The Sports Hub app. Get the app.
Fred, what's it like to work with Hardy and Wall?
What a golden ticket I've gotten.
There you have it. Toucher and Hardy resumes on the...
Because that was good.
Don't you sometimes wonder what a band name came from?
Yeah.
You know why Blue Oyster Cult's Blue Oyster Cult?
No.
Because they are from Long Island, and they wanted to create a cult around the band. They wanted to create a almost like a story around the band, something that could be followed. And then they Don't Fear the Reaper, and it tore the band apart.
I smell a recurring segment of the new year. Band name origins.
Bay City Rollers. You know how they got their name?
They're from the Bay City, and they wear roller skates.
No.
Threw a dart at a map. Bay City.
And why rollers?
Well, they had to put something after it. They just couldn't call themselves Bay City.
You know why Sade got her name?
I was pronounced Sade, but go ahead.
Illiterate.
I thought it was Sade. What is it?
It's just a bunch of letters she threw together. She said Sade. All right. Look, Phil Perry is here from NBC Sports Boston. He covers the Patriots. Hello, Phil.
Good morning. Good morning, friends.
That's a good name. Phil Perry is a good name.
Think so?
Yeah. 3 syllables. That's the key.
Maybe Mr. Fred would have took off your college band if you would have just called it the Phil Perry Project.
Great point.
You know?
If only we could go back in time.
Triple P's.
Why wasn't Mr. Fred? Have we ever explored
Yeah, it was
that?
sort of like I think it was sort of like a spin-off of
Mr. Bill?
No,
Mr.
like speaking of band name origins that everybody knows, but Leonard Skinner, right? Was that their principal in high school? Is that right?
Yeah.
Something like that?
Yeah.
So two of the members of Mr. Fred we sort of grew up together. We had a gym teacher named Mr. Fred. There you go.
Oh, so you're poking fun at someone that was your teacher. Okay.
All right.
No, it's not poking fun.
No,
Guy was
it
a legend.
Yeah, you were being sarcastic. Kendra, you went to the same school as the guys from Leonard Skinner?
No, my dad went to high school with them, Ed White in Jacksonville.
Oh, he went to school with them.
Mhm.
Is there some kind of mural to them due to the tragic deaths of several of the members in a plane crash?
No, but my aunt was in like a living facility with one of their daughters, and she was really nice.
Well, listen.
There we go.
The facts don't quit coming in the 9 o'clock hour of
There you
this
go.
show.
Phil, you big hardo in gym class back in school? You know, one of those kids who took it real seriously?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Presidential fitness test. Remember that?
Did you guys have
Imagine how many push-ups I banged out during that thing.
pump pass kick? Did you guys have that here?
Yeah, I had it in Detroit.
No, we didn't have it.
Oh, I loved that. Pump pass kick was fun.
Yeah, but only like the losers did it because you didn't do it if you really played sports. You just did punt, pass, and kick.
Right.
Yeah.
Like if they had drive, chip, and putt when I was a kid, I would have done that as a
Of
loser.
course.
It's like because
Yeah.
I can't
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
play the game well enough.
Yeah, the punt, pass, and kick thing, you would be like, why are you doing this? This
Right.
is like, so like the kid they brought out was really not the best kid. It was
Right.
just some kid that was willing to go through the whole exercise.
I wouldn't even have done that. I was like, can I just do the punt? Because I can't pass it very well, nor can I kick it. I punt, though.
I think the most famous punt, pass, and kick participant of all time is Andy Reid. I feel like they play that every single time the Chiefs are on primetime TV.
I've never heard them mention it.
It is.
He's like 6'5" as a sixth grader.
It is, and not only that, he's like 300 pounds.
Right.
Like it's not. That's worth showing again and again and again. Like Andy Reid involved in that is funny. Like he's like it's what
He's a
like,
monster.
Why are we going through this exercise? Like what? There's no way. I mean, and it's not only that, but the other kids are so entirely undersized. Like it's like everyone else understood when you do pass and kick. It's not for the big kids that played football. It's for the kids. Give the kids a shot at winning something. But Andy Reid's like, nah, we're rigging this whole thing.
Not the walrus.
I'm lying about my age. I'm doing everything. All right, look. Just your thoughts on. We haven't talked to you since the game. Your thoughts on what happened on Sunday.
Well, you start with the defense for me, and I know this has been sort of a point of contention, and people will look at the offense and how they performed in the second half, and it wasn't good. But to me, defensively, 5 consecutive touchdown drives for Buffalo, even if they've got the best player on the planet, which I think they do, in Josh Allen, you just can't have it. And so, to me, if you're talking about this team, and we all believe, I think, that it is a good team, and they're going to be in the postseason, and so what might limit them down the line, it would be their defense and specifically their run defense. And so that's what makes this upcoming game against Baltimore for me so interesting. One of the reasons it makes it so interesting is that this team can really run the football. So can you show that you have the ability to adjust and improve and take those lessons learned from a loss, which is what Mike Vrabel was saying is immediately once the game was over, hey, we have to be able to learn from this. Can you learn whatever it is you need to learn to fix your run defense? Because it has been one of the worst in football since week 9, so this is a pretty healthy sample size we have now. And if you can't stop the run against good teams late in the season, bad weather if you're potentially hosting playoff games, that to me is a real problem.
So what was going on in the first half and what changed so dramatically? Because was Buffalo not trying to run the ball as much? And we saw a couple of plays and a couple of instances where they weren't able to run it. They were trying to convert. And the Pats secondary was playing well in a couple of instances, and there was one call that went their way, or however you want to phrase it. But
the Cooks almost catch, is that what you're talking about?
Thank you.
Okay.
But what changed? Because I've heard Vrabel talk about it. It's like, no, we did what we did in the first half. We did the same thing in the second half. So did they. They just, executed better. And I'm paraphrasing what Vrabel said, but he didn't speak to like any huge adjustments or anything that went differently other than the execution.
And I think that's right. I think 2 things I would point to, first half versus second half, to me that were the biggest differences, were discipline and fatigue, quite frankly. And they will never make that excuse. But when you're on the field for the entirety of the second half, minus I think it was 7 minutes the Patriots had possession in the third and fourth quarters, that's going to have an impact. And so that's going to impact specifically your big guys up front and your pass rush. And they could not get any kind of pass rush in the second half. They didn't sack Josh Allen. They sacked him twice in the first half. They couldn't stop the run. James Cook averaged 5 yards per carry in that game. I think that has something to do with fatigue. It also shows an overall, I think, lack of depth. You're obviously still without Milton Williams. He's one of your best interior defenders, pass or run. You were without Robert Spillane for the entirety of that game. And what did the Bills do? When they ran it, it felt like, boy, they just kind of ran it right down their throats. They ran it right down the middle of the Patriots defense, and there was not much stopping them. So first half, you're able to rush and rush soundly, rush in a disciplined manner to not allow Josh Allen to break the pocket. Second half, not as much of that. Also, to the discipline point of it, Kendra, how many penalties were absolute backbreakers for the Patriots in the second half?
Just going to bring that up. Vrabel has had some really interesting comments to the media this week, one of them being his comment about the officiating and them not calling holding on the Bills, which is crazy because they did call back that Josh Allen touchdown on a holding. So I thought that was weird for him to say. But also yesterday, he kind of felt like he was putting a lot of the blame on McDaniels and the offense, when for me, that's not really the case. When your defense can't go out there and hold a lead like that, sure, the fourth quarter has been a problem for the Patriots. Red zone has been a problem for the Patriots all season long. I thought those were weird comments.
Yeah, I think you're right. To me, coming out of that game, the offensive play calling was not an issue. That was not one of the first things I said to myself. Patriots lose, why? Well, clearly, McDaniels wasn't dialing up the right stuff. What? I mean, I guess they weren't effective in the second half offensively, but that's not what struck me or what stood out to me. I think Vrabel in general, he is a spreader of both credit and blame, right? So when he's asked to really credit someone, he's always deflecting. Oftentimes this happens with McDaniels. He'll be asked about Josh McDaniels, and he'll give credit to the quarterback's coach, Ashton Grant, and the receivers coach, Todd Downing, and on down the line. Everybody gets credit. And I think he wants to be the same way in terms of the blame. And so, for instance, immediately after the game, he was focused on the defense, which I give him some credit for. We couldn't get a stop, penalties. This guy, Josh Allen, we knew he was going to go up and down the field, and he was going to be hard to kill, and we couldn't figure it out. So he's blaming the defense, but he also wants to make it clear that it wasn't just the defense. So I think that's just sort of his MO, and as we're all kind of getting used to him, and especially getting used to him after a loss, there haven't been many occasions of this since he's been here. I think that's what I am sort of figuring out about how he handles these things, is that he really is hesitant to focus on any one individual. If we're focusing on one person, he's going to make sure that he has us focus on everybody else.
But I think that, in the case of the game on Sunday, that's a pretty fair assessment in the second half. Like one stop or one more touchdown from the Pats offense in the second half, and the game is flipped. And yeah, you could probably, go piece by piece and say more blame, belongs here or that. But that's what it boils down to. They needed a stop and they needed a touchdown.
And you know what? They actually got a stop at the end of that game. And Drake May had the opportunity to go down and drive the field and go win the game. And they didn't do it. And so if you want to look at the offense, you could look at that drive and say, hey, not good enough. Now, is that play calling? I would look more at sort of what Buffalo did to confuse and force Drake May to hesitate. I would look at what they did schematically that gave Patriots receivers problems. It looks like man-to-man coverage, unfortunately for the Patriots, has been a real bugaboo for them over the course of the last couple months, and they'll see more of that this coming weekend. But they had an opportunity at the very end, and so maybe that's when there is offensive criticism, that's the focus.
Is that a concern for you that Drake May hasn't really had this signature fourth quarter? And I don't want to call it a comeback. People can call it a comeback because of the score, but I don't really consider this particular instance a comeback. I'm sure maybe the record books might, but he hasn't had that signature fourth quarter, just final drive to kick somebody out of the game. Is that a concern for you, or is his play just speaking for itself?
It's not a huge concern to this point because he hasn't had too many opportunities. This is his first year being on a good team, right, where he's going to have real opportunities for that when those arise. I also would look at, and Albert Breer made a good point on this on Early Edition the other night. Where
I
he
find
said,
that very difficult to believe. Was he smoking a cigar
let
like
me
a
explain.
douchebag?
He was actually just unwrapping it the entire time. It was weird. Made a lot of clunking sounds in between his teeth. He made the point, which is, in obvious passing situations, that's what you need to be able to do. That's what you need to be able to execute to come back in those situations, because everybody in the stadium knows you're going to throw the football. He has been tremendous in obvious passing situations this year in third and long spots. Like maybe the best quarterback in the league this year. There was a point in time during the season where they were as likely to convert on third and 10 or more as they were on third and short. And so that speaks to his ability to execute in those spots. But late in the game, the other day especially, it's just not the same. So I think it's probably an experience thing. He has the ability to do it. I think he just needs to see more of those situations before you can really make a determination one way or the other.
All right, let's shift and focus our attention to the game on Sunday night and the future of the regular season for this team. As Phil Perry will continue to join us, everyone will be very happy. My duties with the car now are over, officially. 2 hours
all
later.
done?
All done for now. So my son was in a hit and run, but he didn't get hurt. But a whole between his inability to describe the car that hit him and everything else that was going on, there was a bit of some twists and turns and things that needed to be done. But that has all been handled.
Good.
Well, it wasn't so much scary once I knew it was okay as annoying that I had to do all this.
Too.
But we will be back in just a moment. gorilla.
Half Hardy.
A big, beautiful ball of flame.
And a whole lot of Boston sports.
And I have had many offers to become an insider. All right, we are Toucher and Hardy. Kendra is in for John. Phil Perry from NBC Sports Boston is here. And the Patriots are playing the Ravens. That has been flexed to Sunday Night Football, which is a good idea. That's a good game. Very important game. Who was I hearing? Was it on this show where they were very bullish about Denver losing to Jacksonville? That was Kendra. And I've heard that other places too. So if Denver loses to Jacksonville, then they only have a half-game lead.
That should be the night game, in my humble opinion.
And then Denver, well, Jacksonville is a major market, but then Denver.
Well, everyone's
I
talking.
just said it to make Artie mad.
Everyone's talking about them. It's not so much the market size. It's like Green Bay, when the entire nation is captivated with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Yes, it's what are you going to do? Not put them on prime time?
Have you not seen all the Jacoby Myers jerseys in the streets?
It seems
Streets are talking.
Kids are obsessed.
But I'll tell you, because the Patriots now really finish up with two real garbage games. So, they win this game and Denver happens to lose to Jacksonville. Denver still has to play the Chargers in week 18 or whatever the hell week it is.
They also have the Mahomes-less Chiefs. Is that right?
Yeah, I think the Chiefs are probably, for their own good, should lay down in that thing.
Yeah.
That's a Christmas game, yeah?
Yes, that
sounds right.
It sounds like something that I will not be watching on Christmas.
I think that's the prime time Christmas game.
That is the prime time Christmas game, and good fortune has got the NFL. If you're watching that game, it's just because you'll just watch anything, anything's better.
And gamble
than that.
on anything. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm sitting right here, you guys.
If you didn't gamble, would you watch that game?
Absolutely.
Yeah. See, that's just that's a compulsion. That's not something that I
Because
share
I'd be
with you.
begging for it in July. I'd be begging for anything like that in July. I'll watch every single football game every single week. Doesn't matter what it is.
Yeah, but to convince yourself of that when the moment is upon you, to say remember what you're going to feel like in July, so you got to watch this now. That's tough to do.
There's a family in New Hampshire that
lie
would
to
like your
myself.
time at that, maybe your attention off the television and speaking with them.
I'm going up there Christmas Eve.
Well, maybe they would
We're
like you
making
there Christmas Day.
pepperoni bread like we do every year.
All right, very good. All right, so look, the Ravens have been incredibly uneven. We just talked to Dave Richard, who had picked the Bills last week. He likes the Ravens in this game. He was talking a lot about the injuries with New England. Where are they with these defensive injuries?
Yeah, so I think you've got some different things going on. They had 5 defensive starters out of practice yesterday, but for various different reasons. So Christian Barmore misses practice every once in a while. He's missed practice time. That, to me, is not injury-related. Harold Landry, they'll hold out of practice, and then he'll play the entirety of the game. So, to me, my guess is he'll be able to play. The ones that I would be looking at are the guys in the secondary, Marcus Jones and Carlton Davis, and the linebacker, Robert Spillane, because we saw Spillane in the locker room yesterday. He had a boot on his left foot.
Oh, God.
I think he's a pretty important player for them, especially when their run defense has been as bad as it's been, right? I think that is a real thing, and especially going against the Ravens this week who like to run the ball. That could be your most significant injury.
I'm sure that Robert Spillane hurts the team. I will not have him in the same breath as these other players. It's a journeyman middle linebacker, but fair enough. I won't harp on that. But Marcus Jones looked hurt in the Buffalo game.
He did.
He kept coming up lame, so that looks like that might be a lingering thing.
He was in the locker room yesterday, too, and didn't seem to be moving without a limp, but he was apparently...
He was moving without a limp, you say?
I thought he was yesterday.
Okay, because you said it looked like he...
Well, after the
way you
game...
phrased it was weird.
After the game, it looked like he was really hurting, according to people who were in the locker room. I thought he looked better in the locker room yesterday, but, he's missing practice time now. Carlton Davis got hurt, left the game, came back. So, you never know, but my guess is if they're able to manage that thing, he'll be able to go to. So I think the injuries are a factor, again, when it comes to defending the Ravens' run.
What would they do if Davis and Jones were out? What
see a lot of Charles Woods, who's, their reserve corner right now. Alex Austin, who had a pretty good summer, is on injured reserve, so he's not even available to you.
They're pretty short at corner.
You might end up seeing more 3 safety packages, like a lot of Del Pettis on the field?
Okay.
I don't know. It's a good question. You know, that's something they might do anyway, the 3 safety thing, just because Baltimore likes to use multiple tight end sets. So you're going to see a little different type of defense than you would against a team that's going to use a lot of receiver-heavy packages. But I think this is going to be about defending Lamar. And Lamar, to me, last week looked a little bit better physically than he has. And that's a fact. Now, he missed practice yesterday, too, but he's sick, so you would imagine he'll be back.
I was just going to say, every single December, Lamar somehow gets the flu. Like, he must have the worst immune system of all time. Do you read into that at all? Do you think it's just something that is a coincidence every year?
Scott Zolak comparisons that have been made. Lamar Jackson.
You think he's just not sleeping enough or something? What is that?
As a player, in terms of his frailness when it comes to illness, it happens a lot. I don't know. I think you're right in it. I seem to remember Lamar having issues
every
with
year.
that. But
because there were the jokes about last year about him pooping himself.
Yeah, I had to leave the game.
Yeah.
There's nothing funny about that.
Fred had diarrhea earlier this week.
Oh. I could
but
tell
came
you
back.
stories, kids.
But he came back.
So
I never left.
It's a gamer.
Paul Pierce came.
I never left. I was
Did
here.
you get the wheelchair?
Lamar's
It had a hole in it.
Lamar's level of engagement directly
If you call
tied
it diaper or wheelchair.
directly tied to his health and physical well-being, or do you think there's an engagement issue in general with the Ravens? Because they did not look as interested as a football team going, a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, but they have in the last few weeks been a lot better. And, part of that is getting him back. But if he's physically right, and maybe he just got over his physical stuff at the middle point in the season this year, and he'll be over the illness, and he'll be better than he's been in weeks this coming Sunday. I would not rule that out. But they've been better. And one interesting move that they've made at the deadline was they actually added a pass rusher, and they added a guy that I thought the Patriots might be interested in because he played for Mike Vrabel in Tennessee, Draymond Jones, and he's actually been pretty good. And their defense has been better in some very specific areas that could be helpful against Drake May. Like, they're one of the best teams, for instance, at limiting scrambling quarterbacks. So if they're able to keep him hemmed in the pocket, which Buffalo, I thought, did a great job of, Drake May really could not run around, especially in that second half.
Except goal line.
That could be a problem.
Right.
Yeah, the design runs by the goal line.
Yeah.
That to me is a little different. Like, those obvious passing situations, keep him in the pocket. They do a good job of that. The Ravens have also done a really good job, and they have one of the best safeties in football in Kyle Hamilton, at defending passes down the field, which Drake May has been tremendous at. Anything beyond 10 yards of the line of scrimmage, he's like first, second, or third in every statistical category.
What do you think about Matthew Judon? I get that the Patriots have some injuries that he would help. His statistics are horrible. I want to say he's probably last in most of them in the NFL, but he has been around this building, been around the franchise. Is that something you are looking into just because of the familiarity and how much we know that matters to the Crafts? And obviously the team's kind of hurt, or is that just you think he's done?
Normally, a guy who still can play when they are pretty thin on the edge and who has familiarity with the team, I would say, sure, wouldn't surprise me at all. This would surprise me a lot, just based on how it ended. If you remember, like, they had the weird, kind of wildcat strike thing going on in training camp. And not only that, but how he's played. And he's been in Miami, and they've seen him, and he just doesn't look like he has any juice left. So that would surprise me if they went after him.
All right. In terms of the playoff picture and the scenarios, if Houston somehow were to lose to Las Vegas, Patriots automatically in. If the Colts lose to San Francisco, which seems likely, they're automatically in. But when you're talking about that, the seeding and the home field, what's at stake? What is it looking like? Because I can't keep track of everything.
Well, this game does matter in terms of if you want a shot at that 1 seed, I think this game really matters. So
if you haven't, you're not getting the 1 seed.
If you haven't let go of that, I've kind of let go of that. I don't think they're getting it.
Right, because it's a 1.5 lead by Denver. That was your shot. I think the worst thing that happened to the Patriots on Sunday was Denver winning against Green Bay. That was a game a lot of people didn't think they were going to win, and that was your shot, kind of.
Right, that would have kept you alive for that 1 seed, the bye, home field throughout the whole thing. So if you're still holding on to that, this game really matters. If you're not, this game doesn't matter that much. Yeah. It just doesn't. It's the Jets and the Dolphins, and if you take care of business in those 2 games, you win the division. There's nothing the Bills can do. If you win those 2 games against 2 backup quarterbacks,
Brady Cook's a starting quarterback, and he is he's proving himself pretty well.
Pride of Missouri.
I met his parents.
Did you?
We were on the sideline for the Cincinnati game, and I'm like, why is there a white kid throwing the football on the field? The quarterbacks for the Jets are black.
And unfortunately, he happened to ask the parents of the quarterback, why is there a white kid throwing the football?
No. Is that real?
I said, who's the honky? No, I said, no.
Who's that cheap suit?
That's not what happened. They told us there weren't many people on the Jets sideline, and they said, we're the parents of this kid, and it was all exciting. He came up to his parents, and he was all excited. It turned out Tyrod Taylor was hurt. Who knew? And Fields was the starting quarterback back then. And, yeah. And I went, there's no way he's going to play, Milo. There's no way he's ever going to play. He's an undrafted free agent. He's never going to be on this team again. He's an emergency call-up. And then, sure enough,
look at him now.
A couple of weeks later, he's starting. He wasn't terrible against Jacksonville.
No.
The offense wasn't great. The defense wasn't great, you could say. But, yes, those are 2 wins at the end of the season, obviously. And so, yeah, you've kind of given up on that bye week thing.
The thing that I would use this game for in terms of importance, again, if you've let go of the 1 seed, is did Buffalo do something to your offense that is now replicable by good teams?
You said that
Baltimore
this week,
included.
You said that last week, and that I've referenced that a couple times. You said your concern beyond losing that game was could that uncover a way to stop Drake May?
And I thought Buffalo did a hell of a job in that second half. 2 of the things they did that I think are going to be replicable by the Ravens is they played a lot of man coverage for them. Sean McDermott's typically his own guy, but on 15 dropbacks in the second half, they played the Patriots on 7 of them in man-to-man coverage. And Drake May completed just 2 passes for 32 yards. So that's number one. Patriots have a hard time separating from man coverage. I think that is oftentimes weapons related or a lack of high-end weaponry related. The other thing is Buffalo used a lot of 2 high safeties. Again, Ravens have good safeties. If you can take away the deep shot for Drake May, that's one of the things they do best. So they use this combination of 2 high safeties and man coverage. The Bills did, and that gave the Patriots a lot of problems.
In real time. But I would say the good thing is I don't think the Patriots got capitally exposed in any one area, and that was the other fear going into this game. It's like, if you win, great. If you lose a close one, fine, they're a good team. If you get exposed in any one way by a team seeing you for a second time and other teams can see what you get exposed for, that's a real issue. And I don't think they got, their pants pulled down in that regard.
No, it wasn't an embarrassing loss by any stretch.
But even like exposing the, all right, so they weren't great in the man-to-man coverage or the 2 high safety, which Fred and I were texting about, furiously, in
you guys
game.
have great eyes for that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Well, it's hard to spot.
We watch the game differently than,
the layman
fans.
It's like, look where their safeties are standing. This is too high.
There's 2 of them.
I think they might listen. Exposed is too strong a word.
It's almost TOO high.
Okay, well, but that's when we get cute.
Yeah,
and with the
no,
word,
I love
we
it.
play word games with it.
I love it.
Yeah, we make a crossword
Punny.
puzzle.
Yeah.
I just would say not exposed, but run game issues, pass game issues, offensively, like against good teams. Can teams expose you when those things, when they have the ability to leverage those things? And so that'll happen this weekend against Buffalo. So can you figure it out? Did you learn whatever you needed to learn against Buffalo to solve those problems? Because if you didn't, Baltimore is not the only good team you're going to be facing the rest of the year. Whoever you see in the postseason is going to have time and the ability, you would think, to adjust and change whatever their typical menu of plays is to be able to take advantage of you if you don't get those things solved.
Well, I mean, that was the whole narrative nationally is that after the 21-point loss is that this exposed the Patriots playing against a quality opponent, is that the opponent that can figure things out and adjust during a game, and that's what quality opponents will do. And maybe you haven't played that yet. That was the national thing.
Yeah.
That's not, I'm not saying that that's the case. But, I mean, if you look back on the schedule, I know this angers people, but really Buffalo's the only good team you've played.
Right, the Tampa Bay win has even lost some of the shine, right?
Yeah, well, I don't think Mayfield's going to be their quarterback next year, so that lends some concern to things. I mean, they were playing better at that point, but, yeah, I mean, if they lose to the Ravens, I agree. Playoff picture, it doesn't matter. You're winning the last 2 games. The thing that would concern me is now, I don't even consider the Ravens that good a team. I guess if they're playing their best, they are a good team, but you've seen them. I mean, they're not. They look dead in some games. They look dead against the Steelers.
Yeah.
No excuse to lose that game. against the Steelers. And it's just if they lose that game, I wonder if it creeps in, like, given our personnel, again, you're right, against a good team, a well-coached team with time to prepare, like not time to prepare, like extra time, but like, a playoff team, is this something that we can overcome, this lack of talent? Can we overcome it?
Do they come back to earth in that way? I heard a great and sort of jarring stat when it comes to their strength of schedule. Aaron Schatz, who does all the DVOA stuff, says by DVOA, this is the third easiest schedule. The Patriots will finish this year with the third easiest schedule in the last 45 years in the NFL. Now, cute little addendum to that, the two teams that had easier schedules than the Patriots in the last 45 years both made the Super Bowl, believe it or not.
But Bert's theory on that is that the teams that have done that, and I don't know who the two you're going to mention.
The 99 Rams and the 91 Bills.
Okay, the two teams that did that, the teams that make the Super Bowl after these easy schedules are generally like legacy teams, like great teams. That he gives the example of like Kansas City had an easy schedule, and people point to that, but he's like, Kansas City knows what it takes to win in the playoffs. That's his argument against that. And he gets kind of like flippant about it too. He gets like, that old line again. But you've had great information, and I've asked everyone this week if the Bills did something that can be replicated by another team, because I thought that was a great point. It's not only losing, do you do something? And if the Ravens can do something, if they do win, and the Ravens, do something that exposes a weakness to the Patriots, now that's 2 games in a row, is there some kind of blueprint developing? Now, the Jets won't be able to do it. They're bereft of anyone on defense that can do anything. But, and Miami's just, trying to get out of town. But, that's an interesting thing. That's going to be an interesting thing leading into the playoffs. And certainly makes the playoffs a little bit interesting. Because, I know it makes people mad, and it's not even a shot against the team, but the schedule is incredibly easy. And when you look at, if you lose to the Ravens, it doesn't really matter, as we've discussed. But now you've lost to the Bills and Ravens. You've lost twice in a row after a 10-game win streak. And, is this an issue? You still beat Buffalo in Buffalo. I still think that you're not necessarily a better team than Buffalo. Who knows? I don't know if there's many better teams than you in the AFC. I don't know if the Denver's a better team than you. But Denver beat Green Bay. You just start playing the game in your head.
Denver looked really good the other night, and I just thought Bo Nix, haven't had a chance to sort of watch a full game of his, he looked a lot better than, by the way, I think he had performed all year.
You saw the best he's played during the course of a full game. It's usually not. I think Peyton might, and I'm going to break at him right now, but I think Peyton might have come to the conclusion that maybe the way we run games when we're down in the fourth is a little bit how I should structure this offense for more of the game and let him play off schedule and give him like room to move around a little bit more.
That's when he's been his best, right?
That's the only time he's been effective for the large part. And so maybe Peyton's thought, let the kid chuck it a little bit and hope, he's afraid of him turning the ball over and stuff, but maybe he figures take the chance. All right, Phil Perry, have a wonderful, you're very white, so I'm going to say Merry Christmas.
Very white.
And
yes, thank you.
I'm going to say very waspy, and I am going to say Happy New Year. And we will see you next year, my friend.
Happy holidays to you all.
He means that as a compliment. So,
you know me. Yeah, I mean, that is like the ultimate compliment. All right. We'll be back in just a moment. Here are the headlines.
Essential.
comes to the show, Artie thinks the same way you do.
Nothing happened.
He's got the same questions.
Where is the story?
And the same opinions.
Boring.
And he's back with Fred on the Sports Hub. We know what you're thinking. What could I possibly have missed from the show? It's time for The Stack on Toucher and Hardy.
All right, The Stack is brought to you by New England's largest Volkswagen dealer group, ColonialVW.com, located in Medford, Wellesley, and Westboro. Come see the amazing finance and lease offers during VW's winter days. Yes, you can have it all at Colonial.
Let me ask you something, Fred. What do you remember about the Jane's Addiction dust-up on stage in Boston in September of last year?
That I would not fear any of them, those gentlemen, in an alley.
Okay, that's number one.
That Perry Farrell lost his mind and started getting pissed off and started confronting everyone. He threw a fit, basically.
Right, Perry Farrell, as I found out.
You know my Perry Farrell story, don't you?
I think we all have one.
Okay, yeah. So they were playing the Tabernacle, not the Tabernacle. They were playing some theater in Atlanta, and they were doing a special show for our listeners, like in the dressing room. So Perry is in a good mood, and he comes up to me. He's like, "Hey, you want some Jägermeister?"
Oh, yes.
And so do you know Jane's Addiction? You don't know who Perry Farrell is? Okay.
He's asking Kendra.
He was this.
You have to speak, by the way.
I know.
Nodding and shaking.
Giant
I'm sorry.
rock icon. He was loved by. He could basically have any woman he wants. So he goes to me and he hands me this bottle of Jägermeister, of which I drink about half of with him. Him and I can a bottle of Jaeger. And then someone from the record company goes, "Oh, you're drinking out of Perry's bottle." And then I went, "Yeah." And they go, "Oh, good luck." And I went, "What are you? Has he got a disease?" And they're like, "Oh, no."
So he put all the acid in there.
And so they were implying LSD had been put into the Jägermeister. Now, I've never done LSD, and I'm a very nervous person. So I then sat through that whole performance in horror, and I had to stay at the show. And I just remember looking at my watch and watching time go by, waiting for this acid to kick in. And then when it finally got like an hour after and I was drunk, so that helped.
Yeah.
So I drank half a bottle of Jaeger. So I continued to drink heavily in the hopes of maybe that killing some of the fear associated with the trip. And I looked at my watch and an hour had gone by and I went, never more relieved in my entire life. I went,
you were fine.
I was not dosed.
So a statement last night from members of the band. We'd like to clarify the events surrounding the cancellation of the tour after the show in Boston in September 2024. After that show, without notice to Perry, we unilaterally determined not to continue the tour and made inaccurate statements about Perry's mental health, which we regret. Today, we're here to announce that we have come together one last time to resolve our differences, so the legacy of Jane's Addiction will remain, the work, the ba. So after they said, never again, Dave Navarro said, never again, screw this guy, never again, they're getting back together.
I didn't read it as that. What I read it as is attorneys are involved, and one of the things you have to do is release an official statement saying you mischaracterized Perry's mental health. And then if you want to not fight over the name Jane's Addiction, if you don't want to fight over the publishing, if you don't want to fight over future grosses, you have to come out with a statement that takes back your statements that you made about Perry's mental health. Because it says it doesn't say they're getting back together.
We now look forward to the future as we embark on our, I'm sorry, you're absolutely right, separate musical and creative endeavors. See, my fault for not reading the last paragraph.
Yeah, that seems like there was a lot of litigation on the table for the members of Jane's Addiction that they didn't want to get involved in.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Okay.
And the drummer's in everything. He's important for Pyros.
Stephen
Perkins. He's all over the place. He was in the rap triumvirate that was known as Methods of Mayhem.
Yeah,
Tommy Lee's endeavor.
He didn't like me. I made fun of his hair once, and then he said something mean to me.
I spent 2 days with Methods of Mayhem. I spent 2. You know who Tommy Lee is, Kendra?
I spent 2 hours, and that was more than enough. Good grief. 2 days.
It was great. Tommy Lee's the best. First of all, he's drinking 24 hours a
We
day.
don't have time. I'll tell you my story off the mic.
All right, well, I'll tell you. I had a great time. Now the rapper kid wasn't so great, but Tommy Lee's the
T-Lo?
best.
Yeah, he was
T-Lo,
a real
right?
talent.
Perkins was quiet. Tommy Lee's the greatest. First of all, he's got every woman in the world just immediately starts following him. It was the greatest. I have like a million pictures from it. I'll show you guys. We could do that tomorrow.
Let's do it.
All right, that'll do it for us. Everyone have a great day. Kendra, thank you.
Love you guys.
Have
Happy
a
holidays.
Wonderful holiday. We love you too.
Hardy, send me your address and I'll bring you cookies.
There you go. Kendra's coming over to Hardy's house. All right, that'll do it for us. Everyone have a great day. We'll be back tomorrow. Bye.
Talk to you tomorrow. Toucher and Artie on the Sports Hub.
Men, it's the holidays, a time of love and joy. But if you